Bellator MMA rings in the holiday season with its final event of 2021. Bellator 272 comes to you from Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. And the evening will culminate with a highly anticipated battle for the Bellator MMA Bantamweight Championship. Sergio Pettis defeated Juan Archuleta to mine gold in his last outing, but he will defend against a man who never lost the Bellator Bantamweight belt inside the cage. Kyoji Horiguchi back to reclaim what he never lost. He's a two-time Rizin champion, but it's all about Bantamweight gold in Bellator MMA in the main event of Bellator 272. The rest of the main card coming up at 10 Eastern on Showtime. Pivotal matchup at Featherweight. Two-time title challenger, number 4 ranked Emmanuel Sanchez meets the number 9 ranked Canadian Jeremy Kennedy. At Bantamweight, Josh Hill, he checks in at number 7. He takes on Jared Scoggins, who missed weight by a lot. And Johnny Eblen looks to remain undefeated when he welcomes Collin Huckbody to the Bellator MMA cage for the first time. That's Bellator 272 main card coming up on Showtime. But kicking off the prelims right here, right now, it's action at welterweight. Number 10 ranked Oliver Enkamp, 3-0 in Bellator. He takes on Kyle Crutchmer, who is 3-1 in the Bellator cage.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome tonight's first fighter to the cage, Kyle Crutchmer.
"28-year-old Kyle Crutchmer, he is 7-1 overall, coming off a hard-fought victory over Levan Chokheli at Bellator 260 in June, John, and he said that, well, of course, happy to get the victory, and it was all about this, his wrestling.
It was all about his wrestling. Look, we know he's a two-time All-American wrestler at Oklahoma State, but when it came to being in the Bellator cage, started to be very happy with his hands, liked to try to get the knockout. He went back to his base, went back to being a smart fighter, used his wrestling against a guy who was 9-0 with 9 knockouts and got the win, and that means he was a smart fighter.
The Oklahoma State alum in his opponent. We'll see what the Oklahoma State football team will see tomorrow. That's Baylor.
And now, his opponent, Oliver Enkamp.
Number 10 ranked welterweight in Bellator MMA, Oliver Enkamp, who for the first time spent part of his training camp in Sin City, Las Vegas at Syndicate MMA. He's on a 3-fight winning streak and, pulled off a impressive submission win over Emmanuel in his last outing at Bellator 248 in October, John. Something called a Japanese necktie.
Thank you very much. Look, at Oliver Enkamp has really grown into his body. He's a young guy that when he first came into MMA, all kinds of techniques, but sometimes got out of position. It's those techniques that he's starting to land now, and he's getting all of these types of big-time wins. Beautiful spinning back fist for the win, and then this fight in Paris, Japanese necktie, he gets that thing cranked on. That hurts the neck. A beautiful submission win for Mr. Enkamp, and he is on the rise.
The Karate Kid, Kyoji Horiguchi, will challenge for Bellator Bantamweight gold in the main event. This Karate Kid, Oliver Enkamp, he wants to be the best around. He wants to continue climbing up the rankings. He'll try to get by Kyle Crutchmer tonight.
And you can see, look at that reach, 76.5 to 68. Enkamp is very long. Crutchmer must use his wrestling if he wants a win here tonight.
With the official introductions, here is the voice of Bellator MMA, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Mohegan Sun Arena as we get set now for Bellator 272. The prelims kick off now with 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing the blue corner. At 5'9", weighing in 171 pounds, his professional record, 7 wins, 1 loss, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Kyle Crutchmer. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner, at 6 foot, weighing in 170 pounds even, as a professional. 10 victories, 2 defeats. From Stockholm, Sweden, presenting Oliver Enkamp. In charge, your referee, John English.
Crutchmer bounced back from his loss in his prior Bellator outing with a victory over Levan, Chokheli, and Oliver Enkamp, a family of black belts in karate, former member of the Swedish karate national team before starting MMA and using those karate-esque kicks early, John.
He is using it. If you're looking for Oliver Enkamp, he mimics the fighting style of a Stephen Thompson. He comes from that family of martial artists, but Oliver Enkamp on the ground is outstanding also. So Kyle Crutchmer's got to pick his poison, but he does need, in my opinion, to get this fight to the ground and work through the submission attempts and do damage on the ground.
Crutchmer changes levels, looking for the takedown. Had landed a right hand and now will try to maximize position, controlling the legs of Enkamp.
Beautiful job of lacing the legs. Look at the figure 4 by Kyle Crutchmer. That is keeping those legs up off of the ground. That means that Oliver Enkamp, until he gets those legs free, cannot get himself up.
Habib Nurmagomedov's influence knows no bounds.
Well, it's an AKA type of technique anymore. They all use it.
He put it on the real map with his dominance as the lightweight champion, and here you have
again,
another.
Right back to it. That's exactly what Kyle Crutchmer does. Get him to turn his back, go to his back, and just start damaging him from the beginning. Wear him down. Don't worry about the big knockout shot. Just put volume on him when you're in close.
Another takedown secured by Crutchmer. He said he needed to out-wrestle Enkamp, needed to be on top. Don't stray from what got him to the dance. And as you mentioned, John, he wrestled at Oklahoma State, a 2-time All-American, 2-time Big 12 champion, looking to grind Enkamp out with his wrestling.
He's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing, and you could tell by the conditioning of Kyle Crutchmer. He came into this knowing he was going to have to wrestle a lot, use that wrestling, and he needed to be in shape for it. You see right now Enkamp going for the Kimura grip on the arm. He needs to really separate that. That's why his leg is up in between, trying to separate that arm from the body. He does not have that. Crutchmer was able to stop that, and right now, Crutchmer's in a position, once he protects his arm, he needs to come up on top and start opening up with some ground and pound to do damage.
Enkamp with 6 submission wins, 3 rear naked chokes, a triangle choke, inverted triangle choke, and the Japanese necktie.
See, and this is what I was talking about, a la Stephen Thompson. They're very similar on the feet, but on the ground, Oliver Enkamp creates a lot of positional problems. Now going for an inverted triangle.
Enkamp credits his success to getting into the flow state and being able to adapt to every situation.
Now he's got the legs in the position of the triangle with the figure 4, but he does not have the arm across, so right now, Kyle is not in trouble as far as it being a submission hold.
Crutchmer was defeated by Cameron Lachinov at Bellator 249 via disputed decision. Never been stopped and now continues to control Enkamp along the fence. Under 2 minutes left here in the opening round. Uppercut underneath, a couple of uppercuts underneath by Enkamp.
This is a beautiful grinding style by Kyle Crutchmer right now. He is continuing to put relentless pressure on Enkamp, not allowing him any space, not allowing him to circle out, bringing him right back. Once he gets to his feet, right back to the ground. That's demoralizing after a while. Beautiful job so far by Kyle Crutchmer with his wrestling.
Less than 90 seconds left in the first round. Crutchmer controlling with his wrestling, putting all of his weight on Oliver Enkamp, looking to tax Enkamp's fuel tank early here in round 1. All of the pressure, but Enkamp staying on his feet, still continuing to fish for control.
Again, taking him back down the ground. The one thing that Kyle needs to do that I'm seeing, you're seeing that Oliver Enkamp is still continuing to strike at times. Crutchmer needs to fit in some elbow strikes or some punches to show the judges I'm not only controlling the position, I'm doing damage.
Crutchmer 4 for 4 in the takedown department. 40 seconds left in the first round. Enkamp has been stapled against that fence for a large portion of this opening round due to the wrestling credentials of Crutchmer.
5 takedowns in all by Crutchmer. Then that is exactly what he needs for this. He's looking for that knee bar. He does not have it right now.
But yeah, no space, and now eats an elbow.
That's what I'm talking about from Crutchmer. In those situations, that's the strike that's going to tell the judges, yes, you're doing damage.
Enkamp continues to fish for a submission hammer fist from the bottom. Staying active from the bottom, but it was Crutchmer's wrestling that dominated the opening round.
No doubt about it. That was a very good round for Kyle Crutchmer as far as the wrestling, being able to take Oliver Enkamp off of his feet continuously. But you saw Enkamp landing strikes. But overall, that is Kyle Crutchmer's round, 10-9.
Now let's surprise him. And you got to let your hands go a little bit. Keep working on that neck. Yep. All right. I know it's kind of
This is the story of the round right here. Dropping levels, getting into the legs. Gets the takedown and was very successful in using a leg lace, figure fouring those legs. You see right here, Enkamp going for that Kimura grip. Crutchmer being able to fight through it, and then Enkamp went into the inverted triangle position. He had it twice in this round, but it was not close to being a submission. Searches for the knee bar, rolls into it. Crutchmer crushes it down, figure fours his leg, and then watch the big elbow right at the end. Takes it, he lands the big elbow strike right there. That's what he needs to do in the next round.
Great, round 2.
Both Oliver Enkamp and Kyle Crutchmer looking to break out. Crutchmer would love to crash the top 10 rankings. Enkamp currently sits at number 10. Side kick from the karate stance. That kick was caught by Crutchmer. Unloads 3 right hands, setting up the takedown.
That was a beautiful right hand that landed flush. That rocked Oliver Enkamp, pushing it back. And right now, Kyle Crutchmer's back to what he did so successfully in the first round.
Again, lacing the legs, neutralizing Enkamp, and Enkamp, though, able to quickly get back to his feet, but expending energy here, trying to defend the wrestling attack of Kyle Crutchmer. And of course, it's incumbent on Crutchmer to maximize this dominant position.
Yeah, well, right now Enkamp is looking, he's going for a switch on that, but with his ankle being picked by Crutchmer, that's not going to get him anywhere. Crutchmer is just relentlessly driving him into that cage, putting pressure, making it very heavy for Oliver Enkamp to try to stamp.
Many talked about it being that classic striker versus grappler contest, although in the 21st century, it's all about the mixed martial arts. Knees from Enkamp.
Nice knees inside by Enkamp. Crutchmer got stuck with his head down in the waist area.
And Enkamp going for the Kimura, looking for the first Kimura submission of his career. He has 6 submission wins, so more than half of his 10 wins have come due to his submission skills.
If he can get that arm out, Crutchmer is in deep trouble right now. He's got the figure 4 on that upper body. The arm's not across, so the choke's not happening, but he is in a position where he's trying to...
And Crutchmer slams Enkamp down to the canvas hard.
Well, what he's trying to do is put pressure so he can push his arm against Enkamp and keep it from slipping out. Enkamp still with the Kimura.
Crutchmer pops his head out. 3 minutes left in the second round. Crutchmer's never been submitted, but facing adversity here against Oliver Enkamp. And Enkamp talking about morphing into a complete fighter, John. You see evidence of it here. We talk about his karate background, a family affair, but this guy is dangerous on the ground. Crutchmer dangerous with the right hand.
Crutchmer right now in a good position to land shots, but this is what I was talking about. This is what makes Oliver so difficult to deal with, is stand-up, very Stephen Wonderboy Thompson-like, and then his ground game as far as the submissions, he goes after him and he's good with him, so he's dangerous in those positions.
Well, it shouldn't surprise you that Enkamp became interested in mixed martial arts when he became familiar with none other than Lyoto the Dragon Machida, another karateka with amazing success, as Crutchmer now secures the neck of Enkamp, but nothing doing there as he quickly is back in top position here, but side control.
Oliver Enkamp was looking for a duck under, even though he was on his back. We would call it a duck under from the standing position. Kyle just put a stop on that, grabbed the neck, and put him back to having his back on the canvas.
Yeah, and Enkamp had that knee guard that kept Crutchmer from going to side control, but from the open guard, Crutchmer again continues to smother Enkamp with active hips, though, John, but unable to reverse.
Very much so, and what you're seeing Enkamp is he's moving into lateral positions. What Crutchmer needs to do is square his hips up. At times, he's allowing Enkamp's hips to get away from him. He needs to square those hips up and keep him squared on the ground. That way he can do damage with his striking. And
of course, Crutchmer has to avoid whatever the modern day version of lay and pray is against a guy like Enkamp.
Well, he's not laying at all because Enkamp's not allowing him to. He is working very hard throughout this and trying to land shots when he can.
Changes levels again and is able to keep Enkamp along the fence. And then, John, it's 7 of 9 in terms of takedowns. That's the story. How do you score the takedowns? That's another story.
Well, no, you're scoring these takedowns because those are working. It's keeping Enkamp in the position that Crutchmer wants the fight to be. You can see Enkamp doesn't want this on the ground. For the most part, he wants it standing, and he can't bring it there.
And some people will say it's Enkamp that's actually going for the finish, trying all of the submission attempts, while Crutchmer is just keeping Enkamp neutralized.
Well, they're right. Enkamp is the one going for the submission attempts, and Crutchmer is the one that's using his wrestling to control position and try to land strikes to do damage.
The great teacher that is Big John McCarthy, and you're right. It's in these kinds of positions where you begin to really break down and see the nuances of this sport, John.
Well, everybody thinks it's easy to do ground and pound. It's not. There is a science to it. There's a technique to it. And there are guys that are just outstanding at it, and there's guys that are not. But right now, Kyle Crutchmer is doing everything that he should be doing.
Well, right now, Enkamp has been wearing Crutchmer like an ugly Christmas sweater through 2 rounds here at Bellator 272.
Let's go.
You do this on a 5, right?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Hey, when you're throwing, you're landing on the feet. That was nice. That was nice.
Hey, that right hand is there. The right hand's there.
Let that shit go. Take it back down.
Give me right.
Take a look at this. This is when he had the Kimura grip, and you see it is so tight that Kyle actually rolls through it to try to get himself out of that danger point. Enkamp locks up the figure 4, and Kyle slams him down to try to break free of the Kimura grip and the inverted triangle.
Bellator MMA cut girl Louise joining us here tonight at the Mohegan Sun Arena as we are about to kiss 2021 goodbye. Final Bellator MMA event of the year, and this is the final round of our opening contest on the prelims between the number 10 ranked welterweight Oliver Enkamp in the red gloves, who just ate that nasty kick by Kyle Crutchmer in the blue gloves, and it has been Kyle Crutchmer's wrestling that has dictated this fight.
No doubt about it, the wrestling has been the difference maker for Kyle Crutchmer. You can tell he's a little bit tired right now. He's just taking his time trying to get his air back, get his heart rate down. He had the full minute. He's just taking a little bit more. We're going to see when he decides to try to get that shot in, that little step, trying to push Enkamp back, telling him, oh, it's going to come. I'm just not going to show you when.
Enkamp hoping to cash in on his kicking expertise.
Right now I have Kyle Crutchmer up 2-0. So Oliver Enkamp has got to do something to either have a big round or finish this fight.
And he ends up against the fence again with Kyle Crutchmer putting the squeeze on him. Enkamp with some elbows.
And if you're Crutchmer, you can't ask for a better situation. He gets the takedown without using much energy, based upon Oliver falling.
Crutchmer found his way to AKA in San Jose thanks to another Oklahoma State standout by the name of Daniel Cormier. And he has sparred with the likes of the one and only Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Well, he learned something from him because he keeps going back to that leg lace, which is a great technique and something that Khabib was the master of.
Now Enkamp giving up his back, and for Crutchmer, if you're in his corner, what are you instructing him to do from this position?
No, you're
just want him. Do you want him just to keep him there like this?
No, you're wanting him to put pressure and make him open up, and when you can get your hand free, I want you to start to strike with it. If it's short strikes, let's go to elbows. If it's uppercuts, do that. But putting him onto his butt is exactly the position that's going to keep you from having to deal with all the techniques that Oliver Enkamp is so good with.
To paraphrase Guns N' Roses, Crutchmer is taking Mr. Enkamp down to takedown city, 11 of 13.
Right hook. Head.
See, right here, this is the type of position that Kyle Crutchmer can start to look for the Darce chokes and things like that if he wants to go for the submission. But he's doing so well with putting Oliver on his butt and using his wrestling with the takedowns. He's just going right back to what, look at, I don't blame him. This is what has made him successful in the fight so far.
Crutchmer continues to crush space, suffocating Oliver Enkamp's attempts at any kind of offense. Again, Enkamp gives up his back up to a base, hand is still on the canvas. Knee as well.
Enkamp was looking towards rolling for that knee bar again. Now he's got the switch position is what he's looking for. But as long as Crutchmer is on that ankle, he's not going to be able to get himself away. Crutchmer's now got that hand up to the knee area, which sucks that leg right back down and putting Oliver back on his butt.
Well, Crutchmer said he wasn't going to stray away from what he's best at, and he certainly stuck to that game plan. He has secured 12 takedowns, 15 attempts. Coming up on the final minute and a half of this welterweight matchup to begin Bellator 272 at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut.
Enkamp keeps looking for that switch position. Kyle Crutchmer is just on top of it, saying that's not going to happen. I understand. I know what I'm doing, and crushing that. He's looking to sweep that leg back out, control the leg. Now that you see Enkamp getting his leg free, sucks it back up. Just an outstanding job of using the skill set that brought him to this sport in an effective fashion to make it to where his opponent can't hurt him, Morrow.
Final 45 seconds of the fight. Enkamp's offense has been enervated by the wrestling pedigree of Kyle Crutchmer.
Again, Enkamp looking towards that, rolling for that knee bar, tries to sit out. Crutchmer just stuffing all of it now inside control position.
Scramble by Enkamp. Final 20 seconds.
Front
and
headlock
there's
position.
a submission attempt by the wrestler Crutchmer. And again, it's Enkamp trying to toss up the Hail Mary in the form of a submission from his back, but time is going to run out. Coach John Smith at OSU has to be happy with Crutchmer's wrestling.
Absolutely.
Time! Stand up, guys.
Right now, John Smith's going, that's my man.
Two men who forged respect in what was 15 minutes of grueling, grinding action. And for Oliver Enkamp, who was 3-0 here in Bellator, with all three of his fights ending in the first round, he was taken to the limit and then some by Kyle Crutchmer.
Yeah, you got to look at what Kyle Crutchmer did and the way he was able to control the position, control what Oliver Enkamp was in any way able to try. He just was smothered throughout the fight. When you got a guy as dangerous in the stand-up with a lot of flying techniques like Enkamp, I go with Kyle Crutchmer being a very smart fighter. Here's the level change in the first round, going into the legs, and this happened repeatedly throughout the fight. You take a look at how many takedowns, 13 total takedowns by Kyle Crutchmer in this fight. That takes a lot of energy, a lot of gas, and he was still going at the end of the fight, so he was absolutely in shape and ready to perform like a grinding wrestler would want to. Take a look at that. 24 strikes landed by Enkamp, 28 by Kyle Crutchmer, but the big difference, look at the takedowns. 13 takedowns compared to 0. And that's the story of the fight.
We are awaiting the official decision as Michael C. Williams makes his way back into the Bellator MMA cage. Oliver Enkamp and Kyle Crutchmer go the 15-minute distance in our welterweight opener here at Bellator 272. Let's find out who won. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your 3 judges at cage side. Pete Rogers, Dave Torelli, Dave Hagan, all seen exactly the same, 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Kyle Crutchmer.
2 ambitious leading featherweights collide tonight as Emmanuel Sanchez takes on Jeremy Kennedy. Former world title challenger Sanchez battling a 2-fight skid with defeats to Patricio Pitbull and Mads Burnell will look to get his timing and tenacity on point tonight to maintain his position high up on the featherweight ladder. And how the Matador combines his striking and his scrambling is likely to influence the outcome of the battle. Canadian Kennedy, meanwhile, a rounded veteran, suffered a decision loss himself last time out against Adam Borish and will be keen to regain his momentum and climb back up the rankings. It's all about ambition for Kennedy and delivering with masterful momentum in this closely matched fight with the man from Milwaukee. As we close the year, both fighters will be looking to steal the show. Take it away, gentlemen, and let us see the best of your beautiful brutality.
You look at this, 35 years of age for Dan Moret, 28 for Spike Carlyle. Does the young man get it, or does the old man show him how it's done?
Here's MC Dub.
For those joining us tonight, streaming the fights live from Bellator on YouTube and Bellator MMA and Showtime Sports, we welcome you inside Mohegan Sun Arena as we go now to 3 5-minute rounds at a contract weight of 160 pounds. Introducing the blue corner first. At 5'8", weighing in 159 pounds in his Bellator debut. He enters with 12 professional victories, 3 losses, fighting out of Del Mar, California, Spike, the Crucifixion, Carlyle. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 159.6 pounds. As a professional, 15 victories, 6 defeats. By way of Mankato, Minnesota, he fights out of Scottsdale, Arizona, Dan the Hitman Moret. In charge of referee, John English.
Dan Moret has won back-to-back bouts. Carlyle in his Bellator MMA debut, he's proven to be tough as teak thus far in his career. The bell in round 1, scheduled for 3 again at a contract weight of 160 pounds. That's because Carlyle took the fight on short notice and, well, will want to take the fight to Dan Moret. After all, did not have a full training camp, John. You expect him to probably try to come out and maybe blitz Dan Moret the way the Crusaders did back in the day. It may not prove to be the wisest strategy, though, against a guy like Moret.
I'm telling you right now, Dan Moret, very high fight IQ. He's a smart guy.
Oh, they crash into each other.
Good wrestling position for Dan Moret. He loves being in the clinch here. Drives Carlyle to the cage. Carlyle very strong, and he's got very good judo, so sometimes you're going to see him. He's going to switch his hips and go for hip tosses. He's quick with his movement, but Dan Moret very, very educated in the clinch game and how he goes about just breaking his opponent down.
Moret began wrestling at the age of 5, wrestled through high school. Minute gone here in the first frame as Carlyle trying to control Dan Moret. Moret putting all the pressure on Carlyle along the fence, trying to change levels, but with the overhook, underhook by Carlyle, that's going to be easier said than done.
Well, it's easier said than done, but Moret's doing a very good job of using his head as a third arm and positioning. Take a look at where the position of Carlyle's head.
Moret on the exit, and they swing wildly. And Moret, the southpaw, unloading on Carlyle.
Beautiful straight left by Dan, and that low
kick by Moret. And now Carlyle comes back with a right hand. And it's Carlyle unloading on Moret.
This is the type of fight we expected with these two, and there goes Spike Carlyle getting the takedown. Spike's a little bit high. He needs to set his hips back, relax, slow this down a little bit.
2 minutes gone, and furious exchanges between Moret and Carlyle.
Well, both guys landed really nice, clean shots in that. The low calf kick that Dan Moret starts to employ, he needs to go back to that if he gets himself out of this position.
Waist lock by Carlyle, trying to bring Moret to the canvas. Moret, meanwhile, trying to break the grip.
Yeah, he's trying to break the hands apart. He wasn't able to do it.
And a steady diet of right hands from Carlyle, looking to get his hooks in.
Carlyle's
The
getting
back, but backdoor escape by Moret, and he stacks Carlyle.
Nice job of stepping over the leg by Dan Moret to control the position and keep Spike Carlyle down. He was getting up. That little step over that you saw him do, that kept Carlyle down. Now Dan Moret's just going to try to put a lot of pressure on him. Everything's slowing down a little bit, but these guys are going after each other.
Moret said that he has more ways to win the fight, and he expects this fight to end with a knockout in the first round. He definitely appeared to be going for that, although now he's going for a guillotine.
He's going for that guillotine choke, and with the fence there, that could create a lot of pressure. Spike needs to be very careful.
Carlyle's
keeping his hands on that leg. That's not a good position to have your hands.
7 of Moret's 15 wins have been via submission, including a guillotine choke, but Carlyle, blood now as well on the body of Carlyle as Moret continues to go for the submission.
Moret's going for that submission. He keeps driving him back, but Carlyle's out of it. Nice knee to the body by Dan Moret.
Resiliency by Carlyle coming forward. The southpaw a little unsteady on his legs. That front kick, fishing for range.
Carlyle's got to grab some air. He was getting, there was a lot of pressure on that choke, even though it didn't put him out.
Southpaw,
not breathing normal.
Southpaw versus southpaw. Calf kick by Carlyle. Final 60 seconds of what has been a frenetic first round. One in which Dan Moret has had the advantage, of Moret landing that left cross as Carlyle crushing space, but then just swinging wildly.
Yeah. Oh, nice high kick
by Moret.
Spike Carlyle in that position. How good is his gas tank? He did take this fight with little notice.
Exactly, and he has been put through the paces here by Dan the Hitman Moret. Under 30 seconds left in the opening round. Carlyle, a BJJ brown belt, a judo black belt. He went for the elbow that just missed there, looks for the takedown. And Moret looks for the guillotine.
Oh, back to the guillotine. That's on tight. It's got 8 seconds to survive. It's put a lot of pressure on it. Spike's okay.
Spike Carlyle avoids going to the guillotine, at least in the first round.
But it's a good thing if you are Dan Moret that, look at, you're putting your opponent into his corner. He had no air for the last 10 seconds. But your arms are also going to be just a little bit tired.
He's gassed. Don't get into firefights with him, okay? Deep breath. Good, deep breath.
Sorry, that right hand is here. Yep. You ready for that low kick? Hold that too as well. Hold that too as well, bud.
No, the guy's hands are just,
Spike,
he's really tired now.
Stand up. All right, let's work that orthodox.
Stand up, stand up, stand up.
This was Dan Moret when he decided to go towards that guillotine choke. When you see him kind of sit his hips forward and he starts to press in on this choke, there's a lot of pressure starting to be applied. Here was the head kick right after. That did land. Spike Carlyle, tough. He goes for the takedown at the end and gets himself right back into another guillotine. When Dan jumps to guard, there is a lot of pressure on that. He is holding his breath. Spike Carlyle showing how tough he can be.
Former UFC fighter Spike Carlyle seizing the opportunity to get back on the big stage and, well, found himself in Big trouble at times in that opening round. Survived the first 5 minutes. Now let's see how well his conditioning is as he gets tagged by Moret. Knee, and again, furious exchange to kick off round 2.
Both guys get a little wild there. Moret in a position, he lands a shot, but then comes in too quick. Spike counters, lands a clean shot.
And Carlyle's head kick blocked by Moret. Moret backing Carlyle up to the fence.
Nice, beautiful front kick to the solar plex. Dan needs to go back. Dan,
there's a right hand by Carlyle. Nice counter. And the right hand by, that left hand lead by Moret. Carlyle able to take a little bit of the sting off, but then the kick and a series of punches. Moret on the attack.
He's getting tired of those kicks.
The knee as Carlyle was going for the takedown.
Kicks have landed to the body. Carlyle sucking air right now. Moret needs to keep on pushing the pace because Carlyle is losing. He's going into oxygen deprivation right now. He's got to settle himself down.
And Carlyle able to buy himself some moments of respite. Moret looking to break the grip. Carlyle, I'm sure, using this as much as an opportunity to recover, John, as it is to try to maximize.
This is actually very smart for Spike Carlyle. Slow it down, get your air back, get your heart rate down.
And the takedown by Carlyle.
Get to the top position. Great job by Spike Carlyle.
That's his 4th takedown in 6 attempts. Moret able to pop right back up. And you wonder what that does mentally to a fighter working so hard to get the takedown, only to have your opponent back on his feet immediately.
Well, right now you saw Moret look for the Kimura grip. He's got the arm in that position, but Spike's able to hold on to his own other hand, which stops it.
Again, 7 of Moret's 15 wins have been via submission. Would be looking for his first Kimura victory if he were to successfully attempt that submission. But Carlyle again continues to hold on to Moret as we come up on the midpoint of the round and the fight. Furious pace of the first round. Carlyle trying to slow it down in the second.
Carlyle looking for the spinning elbow attack. Just missed.
And Moret tags Carlyle. Backs him up, front kick to the face.
Look, the kicks of Moret have been a big difference maker in this fight. Be it to the leg, to the body, or to the head. He needs to go back to using those kicks. They've been very effective in damaging Spike Carlyle.
Moret with 3 knockout victories. Remember, Carlyle, 11 of his 12 wins via finish, and there was an elbow strike.
Big shot to the body.
That hurt his shot, dropping Carlyle. Left hand across the temple. Uppercut by Carlyle. Uppercut as Moret jumped in. What a fight!
Moret needs to go back to the body. If he goes back to the body, Carlyle is in trouble.
Seasons beatings indeed between Moret and Carlyle. Not a lot of technique, but boy, are they swinging for the fences.
Carlyle is exhausted, and that shot to the body did not help. Moret needs to settle down, go back to the body.
The guts, the heart of Spike Carlyle as he's being mauled by these knees and punches from the hitman Dan Moret. Now the key rear naked choke attempt.
It actually is not a good position to be in, but he's got that neck. Spike needs to be careful.
Final minute of the second. Carlyle fighting off the submission attempt.
Spike Carlyle showing you exactly when I said how tough and gritty he is. Look at what he's done so far in this fight, as far as he's taken a ton of damage, but he's still in this fight.
Referred to him as tough as teak, and he has proven to be just that, but it's been Dan, the hitman Moret, who's been delivering the biggest hits. Moret mauling a bloodied Carlyle on the ground. Final 10 seconds of what has been a sensational second round. Carlyle desperately trying to stay in the fight, even going up for a half-hearted submission attempt. You cannot question the heart of Spike Carlyle, but let's not discount the dominance of Dan Moret.
Absolutely right, Moro. It was a dominant round, even though Carlyle had his moments in the round. Overall, the big damage and all of the real good work done by Dan Moret.
Now the question is, how about Spike Carlyle with a full training camp?
Exactly, that's the whole point. You look at a guy not a full camp. Take a look at this shot to the body. That body shot, that kick hurt. And you see the punches landing clearly on Spike, and he starts to actually turn away. Here comes the knee to the body. Beautiful knee, landed right to the solar plex. And look at the reaction of Spike Carlyle. He starts folding and going down. Those body shots hurt. They make it to where you cannot breathe. It takes time to get it back. And Dan Moret just kept coming at him. Big, heavy shots. It's impressive to see a guy like Moret comes from a wrestling background. The kicks have been a real difference maker in this fight.
A smorgasbord of solar plexus strikes by Dan the Hitman Moret. And the doctor ensuring that Spike Carlyle will be able to continue. You know Carlyle's going to say, yes, sir, I want to continue to fight.
And he's loving that doctor right now because that doctor not only said he could fight, gave him some extra time, too.
Good last round, come on.
The bell and the third and final round of this contract weight 160-pound scrap, and it has been a spirited scrap to say the least. Spike Carlyle making his Bellator MMA debut on short notice in the blue gloves. Will have to pull out something almost as dramatic as his entrance to the Bellator MMA cage against Dan the Hitman Moret, who has been outstriking Carlyle up to this point.
Definitely has been.
Oh, nice
punches. Nice straight left hand.
And a left hook and right by Carlyle.
Dan got hurt.
Moret is staggered. Back comes Spike Carlyle, rising from the ashes.
Dan Moret got stung on that. He's still a little bit wobbly, but Spike Carlyle is exhausted.
And Moret sitting down now on his punches, leading with the left cross, falling into Carlyle. Already making everyone's favorite month of December a month to remember. What a scrap, John. Dan Moret, Spike Carlyle, they've been going at it like this since the opening round.
Oh, since the very first time they touched gloves, they have been on fire, going after each other. Here comes Dan, his hands are locked, Spike's going down to the ground. Smart move by Dan Moret. Take your time, get position, and just start wearing on him.
Moret training at Henry Cejudo's gym, fight ready, more than ready to fight tonight. A well-rounded fighter, quality finisher. Half of the BJJ brown belts, 14 wins have come via form of choke. We have seen him go for chokes. We have seen him go for broke in this fight.
Seen him go for everything and seen him hurt and seen him come back from it. Dan landing, those are heavy hammer fists.
Moret wearing down Carlyle. Trying to improve his position, trying to pass. Now has a back foot, is scrambled by Carlyle.
Carlyle with an Iranian lift, bringing him up. He gets position.
Wow. Carlyle's getting his hooks in on his back. Going for the rear naked choke. Past the midpoint of the round.
That's tight.
High drama.
He could get it. He's just got to hold that squeeze.
Looking to pull off the mother of all comebacks in his Bellator MMA debut. Moret literally seeing red.
Moret is still there. He's going out. It's over.
Mike Carlyle has done it. Mamma mia. Don't call it a comeback. You may want to call that a pre-Christmas miracle. What a finish. What a comeback by Spike Carlyle, John.
We said it. You said tough as teak. I said how tough and gritty he was. Every time I've watched him fight, look, he was definitely behind in this fight. And then he comes and does that. That's why you never count a guy like Spike Carlyle out. Watch what happens. You see Dan Moret, he's on top. He goes to pass to get to mount. That's when Spike comes out of it. He goes to the point where he gets his head in between the Iranian lift as you see Moret trying to set up the triangle. And Moret gives the back. Carlyle locks in the choke and just slowly, palm to palm, starts the squeeze. Dan Moret in trouble here, but he's fighting through. You see when his hips start to go down, he starts to go out. He starts to fight it off. He actually pulls himself back to a better position, and then Spike Carlyle locks it in. And from that locked position, there go the hips. He's in trouble, and he goes out.
Step aside, Lazarus. The mother of all comebacks currently belongs to Spike Carlyle. Now that's how you make a first impression. And it's good to see that Dan Moret is on his feet now, being put on the stool as doctors ensure that he is okay after he was choked out in the third round, losing a fight that he was dominating in stunning fashion. Let's make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the rear naked choke in tight, it comes to an end officially, 2 minutes, 58 seconds. Round number 3, for the winner by technical submission, Spike, the Crucifixion, Carlyle.
Let's go to Big John McCarthy.
Spike, before I start, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Spike Carlyle and Dan Moret. What a fight! Brother, you came into this fight last minute. You took this thing with really no training camp, and you came out. We talked about how tough you were and that you never gave up. Man, did you not give up, because that fight was going not in your way at a lot of the fight. You were taking body shots. How were you actually feeling throughout the rounds?
Yeah, so first and foremost, all glory to the Most High God through his majestic Son, King Jesus Christ. Second, I feel like dog crap. I don't feel good at all right now, but I had to dig deep. This is not my power, that's for sure, man. That was supernatural what just happened right there, seriously.
I will tell you, it was fantastic because both of you guys were putting so much out. You ended up doing an Iranian lift as he tried to get an inverted triangle on you. And when you got the neck, you went for palm to palm, but you finally locked it in. Did you know you had him at that point?
I remember watching some of his interviews leading up to the Goichi Yamauchi fight. He said he's never tapped, he will never tap. And it's true, that son of a gun did not tap. He kept fighting, so I kept counting in my head, 10 seconds, 12 seconds, he's got to go out soon. Let go. And thank God he did.
Well, I'll tell you what, congratulations on your Bellator debut. That was outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Crucifixion, Spike Carlyle. I love records in fights because they don't say much about fighters when they're 8-5, and the guys that they have lost to are all outstanding fighters. That is Mike Hamel, 12-2 for Killys Mota. This is going to be a war.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
For those joining us tonight live throughout the UK on BBC iPlayer, we welcome you to the Bellator 272 prelims. We go now to the lightweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner. At 5'9", weighing in 155.8 pounds, his professional record 8-5 by way of Green River, Wyoming. He fights out of Phoenix, Arizona. Magic Hamel. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 5'11", weighing in 155.2 pounds as a professional. 12 victories, just 2 losses from Registro Sao Paulo, Brazil. Introducing Killys Mota. And the referee in charge, Todd Anderson.
Mota back at 155 after losing to Derek Anderson at welterweight. Hamel in the center of the cage, who started wrestling at the age of 4, an NCAA Division II All-American at Grand Canyon University, comes from a family of wrestlers and immediately looks for the takedown.
Killys Mota very physically strong. We've watched him with fighters where he just moves them around. He got a big win in his Bellator debut against Montalvo. And in that fight, used that leg kick. Super effective to the point where it ended the fight. Nala was unable to stand.
Mota keeping Hamel against the fence, delivering a couple of knees to the solar plexus. There's another one as Hamel trying to defend and trying to turn the tables on Mota. Mota keeping his forearm underneath the chin of Hamel, John, trying to frame him.
He's framing out very well. That's keeping Hamel's head where it is up. It is not in a position to be used as a third arm. Nice technique by Killys. Killys Mota doing a very nice job of using that frame. You saw when he took that frame away. Right away, Mike Hamel was using his head as that third arm. Right now, it's back in place, and it's keeping Hamel unable to close that grab with the double hands on the clinch.
Hamel breaks and goes for a calf kick. Hamel bouncing up. Oh, nice left to the body. The left uppercut to the body by Mota. Southpaw Hamel feinting. Flashes the jab, John, but doesn't follow up with the left and was out of range.
Exactly what Killys Mota needs to do. Look at that circling out. Hamel's always going to bring pressure, but you've got to circle. You cannot back straight up. You back straight up, you're putting yourself exactly where he wants you to be against the cage.
Another calf kick by Hamel, was also fishing for an oblique kick, and there's a low outside leg kick by Mota. Clinch, some separation. There's an elbow on the exit by Mota.
Beautiful, beautiful short elbow strike by Mota.
Past the midpoint of the opening round, Mota moving to his right. Hamel coming forward, unloading with that overhand right that missed. Kick, counter right hand upstairs by Mota. So a feeling out process, a tactical affair after the explosive action that we've been subjected to thus far tonight, John, at Bellator 272.
Been tactical, but Mota's been very smart being able to land his shots, and he's stopped a lot of the forward aggression that Mike Hamel brings in every fight.
And Hamel did land the left hand, although that kick was checked by Mota. Methodical Mota, finding his rhythm, utilizing his footwork, staying out of range. Minute and a half left in the opening round.
And every time you see Hamel in that left-handed position, southpaw position, Mota can't land that leg kick the same way as when he's in the orthodox.
Nice exchange. Both downstairs and upstairs. Oblique kick by Hamel. Just a warning shot. Body shot by Hamel, but does not follow up. Pot shot. Oh, there's a right uppercut, and then the counter left hook upstairs by Mota.
Mota being very accurate with his shots. He's not throwing a ton, but everything he's throwing, it has bad intentions, and it's been accurate in landing, so.
Yeah, Hamel being credited with landing more than half of his strikes. And Mota's landed at a very high percentage as well. And Hamel with the right hand behind the ear, knocking Mota off balance. 30 seconds left in the round. Straight left hand down the middle. 3-punch combination. Hamel beginning to light up Mota.
He knows where he's at, but he's getting hit still with shots. You know, it takes one more to put him in a bad position.
And he changes levels. Mota muting the offense of Mike Hamel.
Smart move by Mota to bring him in and get a hold of that clinch so he doesn't get hit anymore. That's the kind of round that gives judges a lot of problems. You got a lot of volume on both sides, but it was in the end, you saw that Hamel did hurt Mota, had him in trouble. They might be looking towards Mike Hamel getting that round based upon that last sequence we saw with about 20 seconds left. Here comes Hamel with the knee inside, lands to the solar plex area, not all the way through. And then you see, take a look at the right hand by Killys Mota, and then the right hand by Hamel that lands and puts him down. There comes the right hand, but here's the one right behind the ear. That's the one that kind of upset the equilibrium of Killys Mota, put him in trouble. You see, he's clear, he understands where he's at, but he needs to just close the distance, get the clinch, what eventually he was able to do.
Get him up.
Can we anticipate a ratcheting up of the offense in round 2, Mr. McCarthy?
Well, the one thing that we know off of Mike Hamel does not slow down. Killys Mota does slow down a little bit. A lot of fast twitch muscle fiber. He's a very explosive athlete. We'll see if he's able to hold that pace.
This is round number 2. Mota exploding with 2 punches between the guard and a kick, and now Hamel, they both jockey for position along the fence, with Mota turning the tables on Hamel now.
And I thought in the clinch position in the first round, Killys Mota was able to land a lot of clean, little sharp strikes, especially elbows inside. So it's not a bad position for him to be in.
Sharp jab by Mota from orthodox stance. Hamel from the southpaw position. He lands a left straight down the middle on the nose of Mota. Mota pronating that right hand. There's a calf kick downstairs by, of course, Mike Hamel. Oh, and a jumping knee attempt. Oh, and it may have jingled the bells of Mike Hamel.
Yeah, I don't think it was the knee itself. I think it was the shin that followed through the lower leg.
Low click. Stay right here, don't talk to nobody.
Take a look when he comes through here. No knee, but look at the kick. You see that foot does land.
All right. Just sit right here. I don't want you talking to your corners. I'm going to check on him. I'm going to give him 5 minutes.
But also think of the fact that Mike Hamel did play a little bit of a part when he's swinging that leg through. So that's why when people go, oh, there automatically should be a point. No.
How you feeling?
Sometimes it's both guys and what they do.
Better? Okay. You take your time. You work it out. You tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
You're ready to go? Are you sure? Okay. It was in the flow of things. It's accidental. I'm going to warn him, and then we're going to start. You understand? Accidental. That was in the flow of things. It's accidental. Yep. But that's your weapon. It's your responsibility. Make sure you know where it goes. You understand?
Yeah, right now, referee Todd Anderson is mistaken in who was hit.
Wow. And they exchange in the center of the cage. And a naked takedown attempt that Mota's able to secure, but Hamel back up to a base.
Well, I'm just glad to know that Killys Mota was feeling okay and was ready to go.
Yeah. Shoulder strike by Mota along the fence. Knee delivered by Mota to the midsection. And Hamel able to break away, create some distance, and try to unload his offense. Feinting from orthodox now. There's a kick, calf kick that knocked Mota off balance momentarily.
And Mike Hamel, we talked about it, he needs to go back to that, same as Killys Mota needs to go back to it. When that leg's out there, start to make it pay. Make that person have a problem with their balance and the ability to step forward.
Oh, great kick by Hamel, and then from southpaw comes forward with 1-2, but no bother for Killys Mota. Mota looking to bounce back from a loss. Hamel looking to make it 2 straight after losing 2 in a row.
You can see Mike Hamel just non-stop motion, always trying to come forward, always trying to put pressure on his opponent.
He says he wants to make you suffer the entire time. He wants to be all up in your face.
Killys Mota doing the right thing, circling out. But at this time, he needs to think about it. He's got to start changing the offense and everything. He's in these close clinch positions. Nice job at turning Mike Hamel's back to the fence.
Well, Hamel tells us that his biggest fear is losing a fight because he ran out of gas. Here we are with 2 minutes left in the second. He continues to push the pace and stay in front of Mota, switching stances. They both kick. And there's the lead left followed by the right, the miss from Mota, but not a lot of offense by Mota.
No, Mike Hamel's continuing to land that right hand. Every time he goes to the southpaw, he's able to land that straight left right down the pipe on him.
Faz ele errar, faz ele errar. Faz ele errar. Vai da hora, você tá ganhando esse carro. Na hora certa. Bate na barriga que ele tá sentindo o carro. Bate na barriga que ele tá sentindo o carro.
Hamel continues to target the legs of Mota. We expected Mota. He was telling us that would be his biggest advantage, something he would love to target as a little showboating from Hamel. Set him up for a polo punch. Minute left here in round 2, and Mota's offense has been muted by Mike Hamel.
All the movement of Mike Hamel is giving Mota just a little, because he keeps on following him now, but he's not throwing anything. He's got to start being more offensive, but so does Hamel. He's kind of waiting.
Final half minute of the second round. Another oblique kick by Hamel. A lot of feinting, a lot of following. Not a lot of offense. There's Hamel with a right hook from southpaw stance. There's a nice right hand that landed on the inside for Mota.
Mota needs to start throwing straighter punches down the middle. He'll be more successful.
Blow it. Hey, this is a fun fucking fight. You're doing a great job. You having a good time out there? Yeah, I'm winning. Listen, in and out, okay? He's going to come out a lot more aggressive right here, like he did at the beginning of the last round. You got to go back and angle, and then we got to peck at him, okay?
Hey, that Yachty's there all.
Quando você for contra-atacar, golpe. Quando você for atacar, 3. Você vai quedar na hora que eu mandar, tá? Corners out, let's go!
I believe that both guys in this fight should be going after this round big time, because you don't know how the judges have scored the first and the second. It could be tied. One fighter could be up 2-0. We don't know.
You want to leave every ounce of your fighting soul inside the cage. This is how you make your living. It definitely is not the easiest way to make a living, so you want to give yourself the best chance at success. And Hamel and Mota meet in the center of the cage in round 3. And, well, we asked for more offense. We're getting it thus far early.
Yeah, Mota throwing a good jab out and trying to find that right hand. Hamel doing the same thing, using his right hand as a jab, trying to land that straight left down the pipe.
Mota dipping his head before throwing that right hand. Has to be careful. Hamel can read that, maybe cut with a counter right uppercut, John.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're looking at what Mike Hamel's doing, he keeps on trying to force Mota over towards his left hand. He wants Mota to take that step that way so he can throw it straight down the pipe.
Sharp jab, textbook stick from Mota. There's a lead left that splits the guard for Hamel. Minute gone here in the final frame.
Notice how Mike Hamel keeps on stepping off and bringing his foot outside of Mota's. That puts his left hand in position to go straight down the middle.
And Hamel looking for the takedown. In terms of the numbers, John, and it's obviously unofficial, just a bit of a gauge, but a competitive fight, and yet you think there's still a lot more left for both of these fighters to show here tonight.
Yeah, well, you take a look and you think, well, they landed, very close as far as I think Hamel's landed more shots as far as volume. I thought the one shot that he landed in the first round should have given him that round, but we don't know the way the judges looked at it. And right now, both guys are in a position. They both have gas, they both have energy, and they need to use it all trying to get the win.
Mota catches the kick and then goes for the knee. Hamel, a lot of energy, a lot of feinting, not a lot of throwing. And now they clinch again, overhook by Hamel, underhook. Knee up the middle by Mota. Mota just touching the body of Hamel, who breaks away. Not a lot of range finding, not a lot of setting a game plan in terms of finding the range, John.
No, I've always, as I'm watching him, Hamel's able to land the kick when he goes to his orthodox, but he tends to slow down. I think in the southpaw, he's much better.
I'm wondering, earlier in this round, he landed a left hand and he seems to be shaking it out periodically. I'm just wondering, we're not
doctoring in the second round.
But he's still throwing the left hand, and there he eats a right hand from Mota. But yeah, John, you noticed it as well, and there was a little wince there as well. And again, we'll continue to monitor it here with just over 2 minutes left in the fight, but Hamel continues to throw the left.
Keeps throwing it.
And there's Mota looking for the takedown, doesn't set it up, the naked shot, thus far defended by Hamel, who has given up his back. Looking for that switch, just turning into Mota.
Mota's got his hands clasped at least, though, so he's got double unders. This is a good position, his best opportunity to get a takedown right now.
And Hamel defending by any means necessary.
Well, Hamel doing a good job. He's using that leg up inside. He's got the wizard on top.
And the knee. And there's a shoulder strike by Mota. Under a minute and a half left in the fight. Mike Hamel and Killys Mota going at it here in the Bellator MMA lightweight division, lording over the division. Patricky Pitbull winning the title across the pound in a rematch with Peter Quilley, the title vacated by his brother Patricio.
Yeah, the new lightweight champion in Patricky, and what a big win that was.
A minute left here in the third, and Mota remains stapled to Hamel, but not maximizing the position, just under, has that high body lock on Hamel.
Well, it was high, but you look, it's down towards the middle of the back now. That's not the position you want to be in. Either get him down on the hips and suck the hips in, or go high up underneath the arms. Hamel needs to really start to dig that, pummel that underhook, get his left arm inside there and switch this position.
20 seconds left in the fight. Boo birds beginning to be heard here at the Mohegan Sun Arena. The fans thinking that Hamel and Mota could have done more, maybe just like that, as they show appreciation for Hamel's shoe shine at the end of the round. But as we continue to say, John, if you've got that much energy at the end of a fight, you should have had a lot more fight to give.
That's it.
But anyway, through 15 minutes, how do you have it on your unofficial scorecard and why?
Well, unofficially, you can take a look at it. I thought the first round went to Mike Hamel. I don't know which way they're going to go in the second. I would say that they're going to go with Mike Hamel, but third round I'm going to go with Killys, even though you got the little shoe shine from Hamel, but it could go either way. I bet it's a split decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go now to your three judges at cage side. Your first, Dave Peabody, scores the fight 29-28. He sees the fight for Mota. Your second judge, Dave Torelli, 29-28. He scores the fight for Hamel. Your third and final judge at cage side, Peter Rogers, scores the fight 30-27, showing it for the winner by split decision, Magic Mike Hamel.
What are the winning lottery numbers this weekend? Split decision. Well done, broadcast partner. As we go to the tail of the tape, big job.
Yeah, Justin Montalvo with Law MMA, 25 years of age compared to Jacob Bohn, 32. We'll see which guy gets the win.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator 272 seen live tonight in Japan. We welcome all those tuning in on UNext as we stay in the lightweight division. Set again for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner at 6 foot, weighing in 154.8 pounds. In his Bellator debut, he brings 10 professional victories, 7 defeats from Middleweight, New York, presenting Jacob Jaguar Bohn. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in 154.8 pounds. He too, tonight, makes his Bellator debut. He brings an undefeated professional record at 3-0, fighting out of West Hempstead, New York, Justin Kid Marvelous Montalvo. And the referee in charge of the action, Kerry Hatley.
Gentlemen, those where your hard work plays off you. Ready? Let's go to work.
They touch gloves as we begin round 1 of this lightweight contest. Jacob Bohn, nicknamed Jaguar by his coach because of his speed, while Justin Montalvo, he comes in with an undefeated record, 3-0, all 3 wins via form of knockout, looking to, well, make a knockout debut here in Bellator MMA. So both Bohn and Montalvo, it's an audition here on the big stage, John, during the prelims of Bellator 272.
This is what you're looking for. You're looking to make that man sitting on the other side of the cage, Mr. Scott Coker, the president. You want to impress him, so he goes, I want to watch that again. This is your opportunity. This is basically an audition.
Bohn has won 2 in a row. He's 10-7 overall with 2 knockouts and 4 submission wins. As we mentioned, Montalvo 3-0, 3 KOs. Trains out of Law MMA. Respected trainers Ray Longo and Matt Serra, author of the greatest upset in MMA history, John.
I think he might have. Matt the Terror Serra against George St. Pierre back in UFC 69. My God, that was a long time ago.
In Amanda Guerra's hometown. All right, Nerd, stop it. Let's call this fight. A minute and a half gone here in the opening round, and Bohn and Montalvo still filling up. Oh, Bohn went in, used a jab to close the distance, but immediately darted back out.
Well, Bohn, most of the time, he likes to fight in the stand-up. Montalvo wants to keep this standing. The one thing at least you're seeing out of Jason Bohn is right now, he's throwing. Montalvo's waiting. Montalvo's got to start just being that guy. Don't try to land a good shot. Try to land
shot by
just
Montalvo.
shots.
Beautiful body shot, and then the takedown attempt by Bohn. Was defended by Montalvo, but tenacity on the part of Bohn. By the way, Bohn has 4 submission wins, all 4 via rear naked choke.
You take a look, and this is what we were looking at, the age and stuff, but the experience. Bohn has a lot more experience, and when Montalvo's in that position, he can, if you all of a sudden think that you could just play with someone, you can't.
Reversal by Montalvo. Nice escape by Montalvo. Now the half butterfly hook employed by Bohn from the bottom. He's a BJJ brown belt, while Montalvo's a BJJ purple belt. Color's all about your level of experience, John, right?
All about the way you transition from one technique to the other.
Starts in white, ends in black. Under 2 minutes here in the opening round.
And again, Justin Montalvo looking for like that perfect shot. Instead of looking for the perfect shot, look for the opportunities and just try to touch him.
And Montalvo touched the sternum area of Bohn with that right hand. Bohn trying to find a way in. Nice counter by Montalvo. Picked off Bohn and punched him in the face.
That left hand found the hole there.
Minute and a half remaining in the opening round. Just a question mark kick there delivered by Jacob Bohn. Oh, it's interesting. Bohn is trying to find a way in, John, and then isn't 100% committed or confident.
I think exactly what you're saying. The confidence in his ability once.
Left hand by Montalvo.
He's trying to be defensive and smart. Find his positions.
And he got picked off there by the 1-2 from Montalvo, and Bohn doing the right thing, going for the takedown.
That's why he went for the takedown, and he needs to keep driving forward. He can get this. Just keep moving. Montalvo needs to keep that scramble going. Good job.
Nice scramble by Montalvo. And that's the second time. He's reversed back to his feet, trying to block the knee attack of Bohn. Montalvo needs to ratchet up his offense here. Final 30-plus seconds of the opening round. And countered by Montalvo. Montalvo continues to target the body.
He does. He went with a right hand to the body that landed. You could see Bohn did not like it, then went right back to the body again with the left. There he goes again.
Sloppy shot by Jacob Bohn. Does not pay dividends. There's a right hand that was looking to pay dividends for Montalvo. As we come to the end of the opening round again, nice body attack by Montalvo.
Oh, it's hurting him.
Making that investment, and already it appears to be paying some dividends, John.
No doubt about it, man. You get hit to the body. Sometimes it takes a little more than a second, and all of a sudden you start to feel it, and it's like, oh, I can't get any air. That's what Justin Montalvo was creating with those big-time body shots.
That's the best that guy's got. He's just going to start going downhill from now. Body shots are going to take it out of him. He already is looking for a way out. Don't get careless.
Keep hitting you, okay? And keep following up with those legs.
Let's take a look at these body shots by Justin Montalvo. Nice job right there, right at that rib. Then he comes back again. A little bit heavy swing, but that one landed right to the basket. You could see Bohn started to slow down, move himself away off that body shot. Like, take a look at the body, take a look at just the facial expression. He feels it, and Justin Montalvo knows it.
Round two, good job.
32-year-old Jacob Bohn in his first Bellator MMA fight. 25-year-old Justin Montalvo making his Bellator MMA debut, and they want to make an impressive first impression on the power that be, the strike stats. As Bohn gets the back of Montalvo.
Once again gets it, but he's not been able to hold that position. You can see, as far as strike stats, it's the percentage, and a lot of those were to the body. Montalvo, again, works himself back to his feet, and you're going to see him start to attack that body once again. He got some good coaching from Ray Longo in the corner, saying, look, the body shots are killing him. Just go back to it, and he's done.
Always enjoyed sitting under the learning tree of Ray Longo over the years. Great guy.
Great coach, very calm, knows exactly what his fighter can do, and
funny.
Allows him to go. He's hysterical.
But nothing funny about what's going on inside the cage right now for Jacob Bohn and Justin Montalvo, as Montalvo lands a left hook upstairs, and that bothered Bohn. Bohn desperately looking for the takedown. He's still wearing that grimace on his face, John.
Yeah, he has had problems with the punching power of Justin Montalvo. The length is giving him problems, and the accuracy of Justin Montalvo, where he's landing those shots to the body and then up to the head.
Montalvo has been all about the striking game. As we mentioned, all three of his pro fights have ended due to his striking power. He's never been to the third round in his first three pro bouts, has Kid Marvelous Justin Montalvo. And Bohn telegraphing that spinning attack, John.
Just a little.
I saw that from my hometown of Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada.
There goes Montalvo going right back to the body attack.
And I want to wish everyone in my native, beautiful British Columbia all the best to some historic floods going up in that part of the world. I want everyone to stay safe as Montalvo continues to flood the zone with body shots.
The only thing I want to see out of Montalvo, just a little bit more volume.
And Bohn goes to the body before going upstairs.
Bohn trying to be aggressive. Back to the takedown attempt. Montalvo shucks it off.
Would you call Bohn's striking attack unorthodox, John?
Well,
it's interesting, isn't it?
Look, he does a good job of trying to move his head off the center line, but he's having problems with the length of Montalvo.
And Montalvo's being very surgical, very precise, dropping Bohn with that jab. You're right, accuracy. The name of the game of Montalvo now trying to break away from Bohn, but Bohn, tenacious, has his back, looking for some way to turn this fight around in his favor.
Well, he's doing the right thing if he's going to turn it around. Grappling is going to be the way for him to do it because he's showed so far the length of Montalvo and the power is something that he's having a problem with.
And as we've mentioned, Bohn is all about taking his opponent's back. Backs all 4 submissions via rear naked choke, but he continues to be hit to the body, and that offense, the fatigue beginning to show in his striking.
Well, that's what happens when you get hit to the body a bunch. Your air starts going away, your legs get heavy, your arms are heavy, everything just starts falling apart for you.
And he continues to try to stay in the fight. A minute left here in the second round, still plenty of fight left. What a beautiful combination! The right hook, left hand, both to the body, and Bohn continues to stand.
Just took a right hand up top.
And another shot to the body by Montalvo, putting on a clinic when it comes to body work. Some defense on display as well, as Bohn looks to make an investment to the body.
Short time, kid.
Well, Justin Montalvo, known as Kid Marvelous, and thus far, his attack to the body has been just that, BJM. Marvelous!
Smart for going to the body at this point right now. Make him have problems as he goes back to his stool.
Wow.
Jay, take your time, okay? Take your time. You're being a little too active now. He's waiting. Need some ice. See this real quick, bud?
Go though, trust me. Breathe. Yeah. All right, cool. The more he smiles, the more you hit him. And I'm seeing that head dipping after you throw the right. Either switch knee, right hand switch knee, or right hand left uppercut. Like when you're throwing the right at me, watch, he's dipping in. Yeah.
Ray Longo giving his pupil very good advice. You see body shots by Bohn, but it was the power and accuracy of Montalvo's body shots and his strikes that ends up taking the round. Take a look at those. Beautiful right, left to the body. Montalvo landing the heavier shots right now. I have him up 2-0 in this fight. Bohn needs to find some way of getting him down to the ground and controlling him once he gets him there.
Montalvo attacking Bohn's body like it was filled with candy, and it's been a sweet striking display by the 25-year-old in just his 4th professional fight. 3-0 with 3 knockouts, making his Bellator MMA debut against Bellator MMA newcomer Jacob Bohn, who is in his 18th professional bout at the age of 32. Man, even with the left hand, the jab, John, great punch placement. You saw Montalvo target the sternum and then go downstairs to the body.
Yeah, it's not, he doesn't throw things fast. There's not a lot of speed to it, but there is an understanding of range and an accuracy to it that is making him very successful.
Bohn has thrown more strikes, but it's been Montalvo who has landed more. In fact, 50%. And anytime you can land 50% or more, it's a pretty good night at the office, John.
Not bad. Get to 50%, that means you are being very accurate with your shots, and you've got to be successful.
There's a right uppercut on the inside by Bohn that landed, and Bohn again just a naked shot, easily defended by Montalvo, and Bohn putting himself in harm's way with that guillotine attempt by Montalvo that Bohn slips out of. Should Montalvo be putting the pedal to the metal now with less than 3.5 minutes remaining in the fight, John?
Yeah, when you're seeing Bohn going back and walking straight back, that's the time for Montalvo to take and close that space and start landing those shots. He knows that Bohn's going to be trying to come in for the takedown, but he knows that he can defend it. So watch for his head placement. You know where his head's going to go once you start to throw, or he throws and you're going to counter. So go to that area with a strike, or just dip it right back down to the body.
Been the longest fight of Montalvo's embryonic career, but one that he has been controlling. And despite the sustained attack to the body, Bohn remains standing here in the third, and again, a poor takedown attempt by Bohn, but obviously a desperation measure.
Yeah, when you say poor, after you've been hit to the body as much as Bohn has, and you've been hit with 50% of the strikes, you don't have a lot of spring in your step and the ability to have an explosive takedown. Good
and
job.
it's target practice for Montalvo as Bohn desperately tries to come back. And you wonder about the power in both arsenals at this stage. And Bohn. 2 minutes left, and you heard the shot of that right hand to the ribcage of Bohn. And there.
That was nice coming up top.
Beautiful combination up top by Montalvo. And despite the fact that he's stopped all 3 of his previous opponents, Jacob Bohn, who will be bad to the ball when it comes to toughness. Oh, another body shot, and the right.
You can just look at the hand placement of Bohn when he's in the stand-up. His hands are down towards his body. That's where he's been hurt. He's not even protecting his face with his hands.
And yet Montalvo remains in the same gear, John.
Well, you got to be very, when you take a look at this, Bohn, yes, you want him to go fast.
Left hook, backs up Bohn, and still walking him down. Unloading now. Bohn getting punched by Montalvo, continues to measure him up.
Right now is what you're wanting to see out of him.
I think everyone wanted to see.
He's trying to go for the finish now. He sees he has his man hurt. He just needs to step on the gas and get it done.
Bohn's hands are down. Montalvo staying out of range. Nails him with the jab. Sprawls on the takedown attempt. Right hook, left hand.
Montalvo's now throwing punches from his knees.
Final 30 seconds. All Justin Montalvo, but gutsy display by Jacob Bohn.
20 seconds, then finish it.
And you hear Montalvo's corner screaming, finish him, straight out of a video game. Justin Montalvo ends up scoring 53% of his total strikes, almost 100 strikes landed, 97 according to our stats. And he was able to dominate Jacob Bohn, but unable to stop Jacob Bohn.
Well, when he got inside, he started landing those strikes like he was hitting the heavy bag.
And speaking of which, I mean, the amount of shots that Bohn absorbed to the body to go all 15 minutes, quite a testament to his fortitude.
Absolutely, because, man, those hurt. A lot of the shots. Take a look up top. Montalvo starts bringing power. You see Bohn trying to fight back. You say, well, you're hurting me to the body. I'm going to go to your body. But then here comes Montalvo again. throwing strikes right back to the body up top, back to the body again. He kept on going back to the body, which is something you want to see out of a young fighter. He knew what was working. He knew what was making him effective. Big left hook up top. Just wasn't able to get the finish. Take a look at those stats right there. 97 strikes landed, 97 punches landed, 0 kicks, 0. 3 takedowns for Bohn, but was unsuccessful to do anything with it. I think this is an easy win for Justin Montalvo.
Montalvo forced to go the distance for the first time in his 4-fight pro career.
That's a good thing, though. You need those types of fights. You need the fights that push you because, look, he was breathing hard at the end of that. He put a lot of effort in trying to get rid of him. It just didn't happen.
Who wins his Bellator MMA debut? Let's find out from Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go now to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first, Peter Rogers, scores the fight 29-27, while judges Ron McCarthy and Dave Hagen both see it the same, 29-28. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, and still undefeated, Justin King Marvelous Montalvo.
Thank you very much, and yes, we continue to roll with prelim action, welterweight division. Levan Chokheli trying to bounce back from his first career loss against Vinicius de Jesus. John, he's trying to snap a 2-fight losing streak.
Well, take a look at 25 years of age, a very young but powerful Levan Chokheli, who knocked out in every win against 31-year-old Vinicius de Jesus.
Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here at Mohegan Sun Arena, we'll go now to the welterweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. We introduce first the blue corner at 5'11", weighing in 169.6 pounds. His professional record 9-4 from Porto Alegre, Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil, presenting Vinicius de Jesus. Across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in 170.8 pounds. As a professional, he's near perfect at 9-1 from Tbilisi, Georgia, introducing Levan Chokheli. In charge, your referee Dan Murgliata.
You ready, sir? Ready, sir. Well, let's go.
Round number 1, Chokheli looking to bounce back from his first loss in his Bellator MMA debut. It came against Kyle Crutchmer, who kicked off the prelims by knocking off number 10 ranked Oliver Enkamp, while Vinicius de Jesus, he was defeated by Austin Vanderford in his last fight. Vanderford the next to challenge Gegard Mousasi.
Yeah, both of these guys are very happy they're not in against stud wrestlers right now, because that doesn't help. You know, when you want to be that striker and you have the power, especially the power that Chokheli has, he wants to be on his feet. De Jesus, very good with his movement, very good with volume strikes. We'll see what wins, the volume or the power.
De Jesus now at 170 here, and
that was
Chokheli.
a clean right hand by Chokheli.
And Chokheli's landed a lot of them in his career. 9 wins, 9 knockouts, looking for his 10th on De Jesus here in the opening minute of the first round.
Chokheli making a mistake by actually getting into allowing that clinch to happen. He actually created it. That's helping De Jesus clear his head.
Blood already on the face of De Jesus. Ate a right hand, just missed. Did Chokheli with the left kick.
De Jesus has eaten several right hands, and that's why you see him going for that takedown.
And secures it, but ends up on his back, with Chokheli working from the closed guard of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt who started training BJJ with his father when he was 12 years of age. In fact, De Jesus began his pro career with a 24-second knockout of Anderson Silva. No.
Wrong Anderson Silva.
Not that Anderson Silva.
Chokheli needs to be careful with that left arm. You see that glove on the ground. You see the overhook on that arm. That's a way for De Jesus to start setting up submissions. He needs to get that hand off the ground onto the chest area.
And like all fighters, Chokheli wants to earn more bucks for his bang. And well, so far he's earned more money per second than many of his peers. All 9 wins have come via first-round KO.
Well, you could just see in the first part of this round, the power that he possesses in that right hand. When it lands, you see the effects on his opponent.
Midway point of the opening round, hammer fist and left hands from Chokheli, posturing up, ground and pound.
This is if you're De Jesus, you're saying, I want to slow this fight down, get the ability to crush the space. That'll keep Chokheli from having power. Right now, he's not able to do that. Chokheli's able to posture, and when he's posturing, he's landing big shots.
Final 2 minutes of the first round. De Jesus active from his back, throwing up elbow strikes, trying to cut Chokheli, utilizing active guard, trying to control Chokheli's posture after tasting some of his power.
You can see right away, right now, we're trying to bring in a high guard going to an omoplata. Keeps on trying to bring that up and over and get Chokheli to move to the side. The omoplata attempt did not work. But that's an active guard like you're saying, and that's exactly what De Jesus needs to do, because when you are defending, you're not throwing strikes.
And he's throwing strikes from the bottom. Chokheli trying to posture up and begin to deliver some ground and pound again from the guard if he's capable. De Jesus has 2 rear naked choke submission wins.
Chokheli's just a very strong striker. You can just see in that hammer fist how much power he can generate from a short distance.
And yet it is De Jesus who is active from his back, and while not even coming close to getting a submission, is the one being offensive from his back, John.
Yeah, until you see when Chokheli starts landing just a couple of heavy shots. Because of the fact that De Jesus has not been able to lock up any type of submission. Yes, he's landing some hammer fist, but not enough to change this round.
Switching, and there's a hammer fist to the midsection, right hand to the body by Chokheli. Under 30 seconds left in the first.
Almost a good sweep attempt right there. De Jesus looking to get that sweep or that submission, but right now, Chokheli defending against all of it.
Solid opening round for Levan Chokheli, who again coming off his first career loss. Looking to bounce back tonight. It's hard enough to fight when you're on a winning streak. Both these fighters need to get back on the winning track.
Absolutely. And, the real question was, how would Chokheli, how would he respond off of that first loss? Because sometimes guys don't respond well. He has absolutely shown he's back and he's doing damage in the range that he's so good at. Watch his shot. That right hand lands. That one didn't land so well, but there was the next one. That kick comes up top. Watch the big right hand that lands. That was the same sequence right there. Comes with the kick up top, and then the right hand just misses but gets into the clinch. And then some ground and pound, and some of it was heavy. You watch some of the hammer fists that come down. A lot of power, big right hand right there. Vinicius has been trying to hold that position, break his posture down so he cannot be damaged.
All right, round 2, John, let's go.
Second round, Chokheli said about his fight against Crutchmer. He felt preparation was great, John, but he felt he didn't recover enough from the weight cut, and that slowed him down in the fight. And of course, Kyle Crutchmer full value for the victory. And we saw him utilize his wrestling pedigree as Chokheli goes for the head kick and lands on De Jesus.
And again, Chokheli needs to stop crushing the space. He's doing damage when he's at range.
Switches to southpaw. He's comfortable switching stances. And you're right, John. Staying at range, giving himself all the opportunity to do the most damage.
You got to take a look at where you are being successful, and if you are being the guy that's able to control what is happening from that range and land good shots, don't crush the space and allow your opponent to switch up what's happening.
Jesus, wow. Beautiful job by Chokheli, putting DeJesus, using DeJesus' momentum, putting him on his back. Has to be where the uptake, and Chokheli says, I prefer you stand up.
That's a smart move by Chokheli. You can see the difference in their ground games. Who's going to be effective? Chokheli in the stand-up right now has been the guy landing the better shots.
There he lands a solid 1-2 before switching back to southpaw. DeJesus leads with a right kick that fails to land. Minute and a half gone in the second round. Neither interested in establishing the jab, John.
No. Both guys just swinging away, trying to land the big shots. Left hook very close to landing on the mark. Chokheli kind of slowing down a little bit. DeJesus trying to put the pressure on him.
And you hear the corner calling for the jab. Chokheli gets caught with a counter left. There's a low upside kick, lands for Chokheli, avoids the return fire from DeJesus. Make that midway point of the round and fight. Levan Chokheli in the red gloves, Vinicius DeJesus in the blue gloves, both looking to get back into the win column. Takedown attack. That was stifled by Chokheli.
Very nice job by Chokheli to get his hips back, because DeJesus did get deep on that. He's still in a position where he can work for this takedown, having him up against the cage, but that was very nice defense by Chokheli getting those hips back. Right now, this is an important moment for DeJesus. He has been on the bottom every time. If he can get to the top position, you see what type of damage or what type of position he can get into to go for a submission.
And in terms of punches, Chokheli 25 of 65. DeJesus just 9 of 40.
He hasn't landed that many, and that's, part of it's been the position that he's been on the ground, but his back on the ground for a lot of that first round. He's landed some good knee strikes in here. This is all good work, but he needs to work towards getting Chokheli on his back.
And one area where DeJesus has landed more is in terms of the knee strikes, and much to the delight of the crowd, the referee restarts the action in the center of the cage. 45 seconds left in the second round.
A little more energy by Chokheli coming out. Nice jab. Looking for that right hand.
From southpaw, dispenses with the jab and leads with the left, kicks to the body by DeJesus. DeJesus tries to establish the jab, but out of range. Chokheli looking for that front kick, and well, DeJesus looking for some final seconds dramatics. Coming up at 10 Eastern, the final Bellator MMA event of the year continues with the main card of Bellator 272, the highly anticipated main event. Sergio Pettis squares off with Kyoji Horiguchi to determine the Bellator Bantamweight champion. Yes, Pettis holds the belt. Horiguchi Former champ, never lost it in the cage, had to surrender the title after he injured his knee that required surgery. And the rest of the card, number 4 ranked Emmanuel Sanchez against number 9 Jeremy Kennedy in the co-feature at featherweight.
Come on, guys. All right, final round. Ready? Final round. Let's go.
Third and final round. How do you have it after 10 minutes on your unofficial scorecard?
No doubt you had Chokheli winning the first round. The second round is close. I can see the judges going both ways. I think both guys really need to go after this third round and put their stamp on it. But Chokheli, I would say, is ahead 2-0.
Counter right hand by Chokheli, lands upstairs. Inside low kick by Chokheli, now switches back to southpaw and orthodox, trying to befuddle, trying to disrupt whatever rhythm De Jesus is trying to establish, and hasn't been a lot of that for him in this fight.
No, you know, De Jesus hasn't been able to land with the volume that he normally does. He's not the guy that has, you know, huge punching power, but he normally puts a lot of volume and he lands a lot of strikes on his opponent. He hasn't been able to do that against Chokheli.
Done a better job with the knees and kicks than with the punches. Minute gone here in the final round. And again with both fighters, De Jesus having lost 2 straight, Chokheli coming off his first defeat. You want to get back into that win column, but at the same time you want to continue to impress John. And there's an impressive 1-2 by Chokheli.
So that right hand is at least going to leave an impression. That was clean. Had power on it by Chokheli.
Lead right hand by Chokheli, back to southpaw, left kick upstairs. There's the jab that popped De Jesus' head back momentarily. De Jesus bounces a kick off the right arm of Chokheli. And De Jesus looking for the takedown with 3 minutes left in the fight.
Nice job of finally working towards that takedown. Sometimes that fence can be your friend, sometimes it is your enemy. And when he first drove it back, he had Chokheli going, but the fence actually was a balance point for him. But he was able to fight through it and get Chokheli to the ground.
De Jesus securing his second takedown of the fight. Final 2.5 minutes of this matchup between Levan Chokheli and Vinicius De Jesus in the Bellator MMA welterweight division. Chokheli on his back.
Chokheli on his back. This is De Jesus' time to really start to work, put a lot of pressure on him. Right now he should be going more towards knee on belly, moving the position. Chokheli's not that guy that has that big gas tank where he just goes all the time. I think Vinicius is in better condition. I think he can push the pace. I think he can try to make the submission happen by putting pressure on Chokheli.
Well, we talked about Chokheli having all 9 of his wins come via first-round knockout. 7 of those were in under 1 minute, so he is in the third round for just the second time in his career. Went the distance in his last fight, the loss to Crutchmer.
Well, you saw Vinicius went to the knee on belly.
And now inside control, De Jesus.
Again, knee on belly, sliding across.
Beautiful reversal, nice sweep by Chokheli.
Beautiful timing by Chokheli to go with the momentum as De Jesus stepped across from Mount. Used his momentum to get that position back. Now he's at the top.
Huge sweep by Chokheli with 1:15 left in the bout. And a couple of right hands followed up by a left from Chokheli. Final 60 seconds of this fight.
So that right there is the problem that you're seeing with Chokheli in this third round. No setup, just throws the one big shot. You need to go with combinations. Use your hands to then hide your kicks, but don't just throw ones, and that's what we're seeing from both fighters right now.
Zeus with that right uppercut, left hand, both missed. So the judges will be tabulating their scores to determine a victor in this welterweight matchup.
Both guys needing to do more in that third round. You saw Vinicius getting the takedown, getting position. A nice reversal of the position by Chokheli to get himself out, but neither guy able to establish much offensively. Chokheli landing the heavier, harder strikes throughout the round. I believe he's going to end up with the win. You can take a look at those strike stats. Very close as far as what was landed, 51-46. One takedown for Chokheli, 2 as far as Vinicius getting it down. All the stats very close. The difference was the power that landed. I think that's what the judges are going to look at, and I think that's why Chokheli is going to end up with a victory tonight.
Michael C. Williams has made his way into the Bellator MMA cage. He will announce the name of the winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we go to your judges' scorecards, where Dave Turelli scores the fight 29-28, and judges Ron McCarthy and Mike Murtha both see it the same, 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Levan Chokheli.
All right, John, we're going to get ready for the tail of the tape for this featherweight matchup as John DeJesus meets Kai Kamaka III, who looks to go 3-0 inside the Bellator cage in his return.
Kai Kamaka coming back to Bellator, 69-inch to 76. Kamaka is an inside fighter. That's where he needs to get against DeJesus. We'll see if he can get there.
Here's MCW.
Tonight here, Bellator 272, we go now to the featherweight division, set for 3 5-minute rounds, introducing the blue corner. At 5'7", weighing in 146 pounds even, as a professional, 8 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, from Hawaii, Kai Kamaka. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner. At 5'10", weighing in 145.6 pounds. As a professional, 14 victories, 9 defeats. By way of Hollywood, Florida, he fights out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, John Platano DeJesus. In charge, referee Brian Miner.
Looking for a dynamic finish with that jumping knee attack, but Kai Kamaka III was having none of it, John.
I love the attempt, though. You gotta say, well, if you're gonna go for it all. That was George Masvidal's style of flying knee. Kai Kamaka coming back to Bellator after being 2-0. He's had some tough fights. He's had some fights that I thought he won. Got a draw off of losing points from the referee. He has gotten better and better as a fighter. He's taking his time. He's fighting smarter. It was one of the things that we didn't think in the beginning. Fight IQ wasn't there. He's been fighting very smart recently. Let's see if he continues.
Winless in his last 3, including a disputed draw against Danny Chavez back in July, but returning to Bellator, where, as we mentioned, 2-0 against De Jesus, who is 2-1 inside the Bellator MMA cage.
There you go.
The loss coming to Aaron Pico. Bellator 252, and boy, Aaron Pico has definitely turned things around since moving to Jackson Wink MMA, John.
Aaron Pico is on fire right now. He is learning how to be a fighter. He's learning the fight game. He's learning the mentality he needs. And that guy is going to be a champion.
Kamaka with a right hand to the body. De Jesus from the southpaw stance, feinting, a lot of nervous energy coursing through his veins, trying to get Kamaka to bite down. Of course, A.J. McKee manifested the $1 million dream, winning the Bellator MMA Featherweight Grand Prix, supplanting Patricio Pitbull as champion. In the process, he lords over the 145 division. 2 minutes gone here in the first.
Don't stand still and trade.
We're seeing really good pressure from Kai Kamaka. He was coming forward, but nice kick to the body. He needs to continue that forward pressure when he's standing still. That's not where he needs to be, because of the range is always going to be in the favor of De Jesus.
Calf kick by the southpaw De Jesus. On the back foot. Body kick again connects for Kamaka midway through the opening round.
Look at the speed on that kick. That came out quick. It had power on it. That's what you're looking for.
Kamaka wrestled in college at the NAIA level. Of course, when you watch Kai Kamaka, you watch him always coming forward. He says, win or lose, he is always going to be the one pushing the pace and going for it. 8-4-1. Still looking for his first knockout victory. Has a rear naked choke win that came back in August of 2014.
I've always enjoyed watching Kai Kamaka fight because he comes to fight. He is always, as he says, moving forward, looking to end the fight. But the guy that he's up against right now, De Jesus, very athletic, has good movement, he's difficult to pin down so you can land those strikes. Good right hand by Kamaka. A little off target.
Yeah, De Jesus attention. De Jesus says he's one of the hardest working fighters in the game. Has a grueling day job. He trains almost every day of the week. He wants to control the range against Kamaka.
Well, that is absolutely the way for him to get the victory. If he controls the range, Kamaka's not going to be landing much.
But Kamaka's landing those body kicks.
That's because he's using his feet to come inside when he decides to attack. He's got to continue to move on his feet. Nice little bounce right there. That's what you want to see.
Landed by Kamaka. Beautiful. Left kick inside, low kick, and going to the body was De Jesus, showcasing some of his own dexterity with kicks.
Get your head, John. Almost with your head. There you go. Get moving, back and forth, tight. Watch that right kick.
Final 30 seconds of the opening round.
30 seconds, time on.
And Kamaka going upstairs, left hook, left to the body. Then again, that body kick with his right leg continues to find a home, John.
It does. You can, all what you're seeing out of De Jesus, he wants to bring his hands out like what? No, it landed, and it landed clean, and you got to figure out a way to stop it.
And De Jesus unable to stop the takedown at the end of round one.
Very nice round for both fighters, but Kai Kamaka was able to be the guy that controlled that distance, landed the heavier shots, and overall, Kai Kamaka should be getting that round, 10-9.
Get a little busier. Gotta let your hands go a little more for these twos and threes, not just one. Want to sit? Listen to Chris.
Hand and draw everything out. What you got?
Look at the body kicks. Now that's blocked on the arm, but it doesn't feel good on the arm itself. De Jesus eating a lot of shots as far as those arms are going to get heavy. You can actually break your arm on trying to block a kick. He did try to bring his other hand over to slow it down. We'll see what happens in the second round.
Second round, 31-year-old John De Jesus, 14-9, 5 knockouts, 2 submissions, 2-1 in Bellator. He is in the red gloves. In the blue gloves, Kai Kamaka III, 8-4-1 with 1 rear naked choke. Unbeaten in Bellator MMA at 2-0 and fighting for the first time in Bellator MMA since that amazing night. Bellator 236, December 21st, 2019 in Hawaii, and he just ate that sharp jab from De Jesus.
That snapped his head back. That was a clean strike by De Jesus. De Jesus throwing a lot of feints, different things. Bringing the knee up, looking for the kick.
Another great sharp jab by De Jesus, catching Kamaka. Doesn't follow up with the left and goes downstairs, calf kick. That kick blocked by Kamaka, but like you say, John, even if you block with your arm, it will hurt.
You feel it.
Ask Frank Shamrock how it feels to catch a kick from Kung Lee. Body shot by Kamaka. Another body kick by Kamaka, and again, the body work will eventually take its toll, John.
But you can see, look at the difference in the power that's landed. De Jesus has got speed, and he's got little, the punches are snapping out. They don't have a ton of power. And when Kamaka is landing that kick, Morrow, it has power on it.
And he's been diligent in maintaining the attack to the body before going upstairs with a beautifully executed overhand right. And a left hook. And De Jesus weathering the storm of the fighting Hawaiian Kai Kamaka. And that's his nickname.
Kai Kamaka needs to start upping the pace a little bit. Right now, he's starting to get that feel. He's closing the distance. He's not throwing. When you're getting into that range, start throwing things and making John De Jesus have to react.
You have to appreciate the work to the body by Kai Kamaka III. Has De Jesus bouncing up and down on his feet, moving side to side, flashing the jab by Kamaka again, going to the body with the right hand. And De Jesus unable to detonate, John.
When you're seeing that kick come off, that right kick, and you're seeing De Jesus block, it is blocking. I would tell Kai Kamaka to keep going back to it because that arm is not going to have any power on it when it comes out, when he really tries to throw.
And Kamaka has drawn first blood, literally blood trickling out of the nose of De Jesus. Nothing to worry about with under 2 minutes left in the second. Well, nothing else to worry about. I'm sure it hurts De Jesus, but not in a place that should stop the fight from, we're being told, from a head clash, John.
Yeah, that was when they came together. Kamaka's top of his head ended up causing that little bit of blood in the nose of John De Jesus. Sometimes it's hard to see those things.
A minute and a half left in the second. Kamaka in front of De Jesus, who again feinting. There's that push kick to the midsection of Kamaka. Kamaka launches the right hand.
Let's do that more often.
And again, the right hand to the body before another jingling of the bells.
Well, you got the holiday spirit, don't you?
It's December. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Kai, stay right there.
Unless you're Kai Kamaka right now.
Left kick came up, straight up the middle there. A lot of it is... trying to get out of the way when he sees the strike coming with the counter.
And despite having the option of taking 5 minutes to recover, Kamaka says, let's get it on again. Coming up on the final 60 seconds of the second. I'm sure De Jesus' corner would love to see an uptick in his offensive output. There's a sharp straight left hand that knocked Kamaka off his feet momentarily, and De Jesus now stalking Kamaka. But Kamaka recovering, John.
He's recovering as far as De Jesus is not attacking. Kamaka got stunned there.
30 seconds left in the second. Another body kick by Kamaka. And another right hand jigging to the rib cage of De Jesus. So Kamaka has indeed recovered. Under 20 seconds left in the second. De Jesus unable to capitalize on having Kamaka momentarily in trouble, but able to stuff the takedown attempt by Kamaka III as we go to the third and final round.
Look at me. You're fucking better than this kid. You're letting him in the fucking fight. You understand me? Put a pace on this guy, baby. Put your jab hand in his face. High-low level changes. One bodies. Add your hook. Don't let this fucking kid in the fight. Go gas pedal this motherfucker.
Yes.
This is where that blooding of the nose. Watch the heads. Bink, right there, you see them clash heads. That's what ended up causing the bloody nose on De Jesus. But there was the shot, that beautiful left hand touching the chin of Kamaka. It's going to be interesting to see if that shot, Kamaka was winning that round. That one shot hurting him might have switched it in the judge's mind.
Kamaka has been TKO'd twice in his career as we begin the third and final round. Kamaka III in his third Bellator MMA bout, returning after a stint of the UFC. Wow. De Jesus looking to improve to 3-1 inside the Bellator MMA cage. And John, they remain standing in front of each other. A lot of feinting, not a lot of punching. And there is a takedown by Kamaka. So after tasting the power of De Jesus, Kamaka III says, you know what, I've done well with going to the body. Maybe I should take it down to the ground.
Not a bad idea, because what you're doing is at least you're putting it in the mind of De Jesus that I'm not going to just sit here and spar with you at the stand-up range. I'll put you on your back and I'll try to do damage to you when you're on the ground.
Watch the arm triangle.
Kamaka needs to ride his hips up a little bit farther. He's in that arm triangle position, but right now he's not going to be able to get it from where he's at. He's trying to reach to get the right arm of De Jesus. De Jesus on that elbow is looking to post up, get himself back to his feet.
Let's go, John. Keep smart. Wrist control. Wrist control. Keep working up the cage. Wrist control. Keep control, John. Work up the cage. Wrist control. Work up the cage. Wrist control. It's out. It's out.
Nice job by Kamaka to pull his hips back, trying to get him so his back is not against the cage. Now he's trying to drive him straight to his right side so he can get his back onto the canvas. It's all good work by Kamaka.
Try telling that to the crowd here at the Mohegan Sun Arena. I hear you, Johnny. You're right.
It's all good work. He's the one dictating where this fight's at. He's the one in control of it right now, and he's the one that can do the best damage.
Under 3 minutes left in the fight. De Jesus controlling Kamaka's posture, trying to perhaps force a stand-up with time ticking away in the fight.
De Jesus with that half guard position he's going to have to figure out a way to either get him back to a full guard so he can start to attack him with some type of submission, or he's got to get Kamaka off of him and back to his feet so he can get back in this fight, because he's losing this round right now.
Kamaka told us that it was his grappling, his ground control, ground and pound, his wrestling that are all his biggest strengths as a fighter. Well, an opportunity here with less than 2 minutes left to make those attributes work in his favor if he can.
Well, he's making them work right now. He's riding up a little bit higher. Now he's got Jesus away from the cage. Can't use that to get himself back up, so now he's got to use technique and skill in the open mat area. Much more difficult. You see this far side underhook, that right arm of Kamaka. When it's in position under it, is very difficult for De Jesus to get him up and get back to his feet. Moving himself back to the cage. Nice movement by De Jesus. We'll see if he can get himself back to his feet.
Final minute of this featherweight matchup between John De Jesus and Kamaka III.
Keep touching that body, go back to the head.
Should be more urgency. Nice reversal.
You didn't even get to say should be more urgency. An urgent display by De Jesus, but again, 15 seconds left. And he's got one hook in, but backdoor escape by Kamaka. And Kamaka III should improve to 3-0 here in Bellator MMA. It'll be up to the judges. So Kamaka looking to bounce back, winless in his last 3 fights, John, and you mentioned close affairs. The draw could have gone in his favor in his last fight, and you're wondering if what do you think about his return to Bellator MMA going 15 minutes tonight?
No, I thought he fought very well, and you're taking a look at what happened in those 3 fights. Look, he lost the first one, no doubt about it. He got TKO'd, but the second one, it was a split decision. It could have gone to either guy. They both fought their butts off, and then he actually won the next fight, except he got a point taken away, and that made it a draw. Take a look at the fight stats here. 43 strikes landed by De Jesus compared to 50 for Kamaka. The kicks landed. It was the power of the kicks of Kamaka. A lot of the ones that he threw up were blocked, so those aren't counted, but they had an effect. And the 2 takedowns, especially the one in the 3rd round, that 3rd round was a big round for Kamaka as far as controlling and doing damage.
Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision to go to your 3 judges at cage side, where all 3 have it the same, 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Kamaka.
Kamaka III back in the win column, and now a perfect 3-0 here in Bellator MMA, defeating John De Jesus.
The Russians are advancing in force, and amongst them, one of the invaders, Alexandr Shabliy, takes on Bobby King at lightweight tonight. Shabliy from Pettis, heavy-handed and clever in the submission game, comes here on a 5-fight winning streak, including his Bellator debut, in which he claimed a decision victory over England's Alfie Davis. Shabliy has ambitions on that 155-pound title, and of course gaining a stronghold on the ladder of success as he seeks a top 10 ranking. That will likely come next year, but across the cage from him tonight is Bobby King, who is on a 4-fight winning streak himself. Strong in the submission game by record and handy in the stand-up as well. He was victorious by split decision on his Bellator debut against Nick Newell in June. King, fighting out of Layton, Utah, by way of Maui, Hawaii, told me that he is on a journey to make a statement and show I'm the man, I'm elite. You only get one chance in your life to live, he says, and you've got to leave your mark. Russian grit and grind matches Hawaiian steel tonight, and may the best man win.
Our tail of tape for this lightweight matchup. Look out for Alexandr Shabliy. He is dynamic on the feet. Big difference in age, 28 years of age. He's right in the prime. 37 years of age for Bobby King. Let's see who gets it done.
Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
From Mohegan Sun Arena, the time has come to conclude the Bellator 272 prelims with 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing the blue corner, at 5'9", weighing in 156 pounds. His professional record, 10 wins, 3 losses, fighting out of Cageville, Utah, by way of Lahaina, Maui, Hawaii, presenting Bobby King. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner, at 5'9", weighing in 155.4 pounds, as a professional. 20 victories, 3 defeats, from Rostov, Russia, Alexandr Shabliy. In charge, referee John English.
Bell in round 1, Shabliy has won 5 in a row, made his Bellator debut at Bellator 259 in May of this year, defeating Alfie Davis via unanimous decision. Bobby King turns 38 December 9th. He's won 4 in a row. He made his Bellator debut at Bellator 260 back in June, defeating Nick Newell via split decision.
Nice low leg kick right on that calf by Shabliy. One of the things about Shabliy is his stand-up is really sharp, very technical, and his wrestling is outstanding too. He can take the fight to the ground at any time. He likes to establish that in the mind of his opponent. He'll just all of a sudden take you down and then get up to go back to the stand-up. Bobby King, always aggressive, always looking for the big shots.
For Shabliy, 10 of his 20 wins have come via form of knockouts. Half of King's 10 victories have been via submission. Coming up at the top of the hour on Showtime, Bellator 272 main card. 4 fights culminating with the highly anticipated showdown for the Bellator Bantamweight Championship. As Shabliy with that left hook crashing into the face of King.
He stung him with that shot. Saw it right away. Bobby King had to take backward steps.
Pettis defending against former champion Kyoji Horiguchi. Never lost the title inside the cage. Was forced, well not forced, decided to not hold the division hostage, John. Doing the honorable thing, relinquishing the title. He is now a 2-time Rising champion, but man, we will determine the best at 135 in the Bellator 272 main event as Shabliy and King exchange. And King changes to southpaw.
King still trying to bring pressure, trying to come forward on Shabliy. Shabliy's length, his range is starting to give King some problems, and he's eating that counter left hand.
midway through the opening round. It's King putting the pressure on Shabliy. Shabliy able to utilize lateral movement, resets in the center of the cage. And good takedown by Shabliy, sweeping the right leg of King out from under him, but King active on his back.
That's what I was talking about with Shabliy. All of a sudden, he will just switch it up, go to the wrestling, get his opponent down to the ground. Right now, in half-guard position, this is a great place for him just to do some nice ground and pound work. King working hard to get him back to a full guard.
King battering the body of Shabliy from his back, but Shabliy putting the pressure, top position.
Shabliy doing some nice little work inside, looking for the position change. He was looking for the arm triangle, switched it back. Bobby King landing some strikes. Right now, pretty even as far as what's happened on the ground.
Final minute of the first frame. Our final preliminary bout here at Bellator 272 from Mohegan Sun Arena, the final Bellator MMA event of the year. Mount.
Shabliy again looking towards that arm triangle. He lets it go for that mount position. Bobby King needs to keep on slipping his hips, start wiggling.
Shabliy has 7 submission wins. Very well-rounded individual, one of the best prospects out of Russia.
Outstanding prospect out of Russia. He's got great stand-up. He's able to change the course of the flow of the fight by taking to the ground because he's got a really good wrestling also. You can see Bobby King knows how to get someone out of the mount position. He's unable to do is Shabliy. Heavy hips, good base, good positioning.
Time! Stand up, boys.
Not a whole lot of damage done by either fighter, but if you go back and you remember, Shabliy did land the shot that hurt Bobby King early in the round. I think that was the main thing that if you're going to say with a big difference of the round, we're going to have to go 10-9 for Alexandr Shabliy.
You got to get that pummel though, right? If he takes it down.
Все хорошо, тейкдаун, все, Радюк. Но не делай вот таких, просто так не кидай. Все как раздергиваешь, так раздергиваешь. Не переставай. Вы меня слышишь? Да. Правая ножка пойдет в голову, понял? Да. Только подготовьте.
Round 2.
Well, round number 2. We put a cap on the prelims here in the lightweight division. Bobby King moving forward. King with the jab from southpaw. Shabliy backing up before exploding, missing with the right hand. 30 seconds gone here in round number 2. King trying to put more pressure on Shabliy here in the second round, John.
I like the aggression that Bobby King is coming out with, man. He's trying to put pressure on him. He's trying to figure out how do I close the distance without having him land the counter. He's trying to get a little bit of head movement in there, take his head, bring him off that center line when he closes that gap.
Minute has elapsed here in the second, and Shabliy looking for the single and takes King down for the second time. 2 for 2 in the takedown department for Alexandr Shabliy. the 28-year-old, looking for his 21st career victory. Just 28 years of age. We talk about him being a prospect, John. 20-3 as a pro.
He's done a great job of lacing the arm of Bobby King behind him. Bobby was able to get it free. It's the little things that sometimes are hard to see that make it to where he lands the shot. He's got a lot of facing position, meaning he's heavy in the top position. He's hard to move. Bobby King knows what he's doing there on the ground, on his back. But he's unable to upset the balance of Alexandr Shabliy.
I love a great quote as much as the next guy, Bobby King. Supplied us with one from Les Brown. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have one and not be prepared. And Bobby King, who again just days away from turning 38, looking to make the most of this opportunity, as is Shabliy.
Bobby's doing a good job of defending. He's trying to actually be offensive from that position off his back. It's just that Shabliy keeps shutting everything he's doing down. Nice job of getting his back to the cage. We'll see if he can get himself back to his feet from here
without grabbing the cage.
But notice that Shabli's got his arms locked around him. He's got that nice gable grip. That's going to make it very easy for him, if Bobby works hard to get back to his feet, to bring him right back down to the canvas.
The Wizard now back up to his feet, but just momentarily as Shabliy takes him down again, and this time going to full mount.
You saw Shabliy setting that up. You saw him unlock the hands. You saw King getting up, and as soon as King was rising, you saw the hands go back to the gable grip. He had the position to get him down, and now falls right into a mount position from there.
Dominant position.
Advancing his position in the fight.
And how does he continue to maximize it? How does he continue or attempt to do more damage from this position?
Well, what we want to see is, the first thing is, you see he's got Bobby King's head up against the cage, and he doesn't want him to get his back there, but he should be posturing and start to create a space that allows him to land heavy strikes.
King making it difficult as he's very active from the bottom and looking for perhaps looking to attack that leg, but against the fence. As we near the final minute of the second round, but King trying to reverse.
Well, notice the arm triangle is in place right here. Nice job. Brings beautiful pass by Shabliy into the half guard position from there.
Shabliy has never secured an arm triangle submission victory. Does have 7 submissions total. But King doing a yeoman's effort here, trying to defend against Shabliy, putting all kinds of pressure on him from top position. Under 30 left in the round.
And right now in this position, you want to see Shabliy get off of his knees, bring his head up into the range of where you see Bobby King's head right there. That way you can either step through or you can land heavy shots.
Well, the final preliminary fight of Bellator 272 will see a final round between Alexandr Shabliy and Bobby King.
Pick a hip, okay? Pummel, stuff his head, get your ass up, okay? But he don't want to fight. We got to fight. Let's make this a motherfucking fight. And get in his face, okay? You see, we start throwing on.
борьбе сам устаешь. Давай.
You talk about a wrestling stud, you talk about Steve Mako, an NCAA Division I legend, and a man in the corner helping Alexandr Shabliy prepare for this third and final round. Shabliy representing Fighting Club, Paris Vet, and American Top Team.
Red, you're good. Last round, boys.
Bobby King owns a gym in Utah called Koa Kingdom. He cross-trains weekly in Colorado with Dwayne Ludwig. Final round. And King coming forward and going to the body. Rapid-fire combination. I think you call it a shoe shine, Big John.
It is a shoe shine, but you look
at left hooks, and it's all King to start round 3.
Absolutely. I love that he's going after it, saying, no, I think I'm down. I need to do something. Let me give it everything I've got. I like what I'm seeing out of Bobby King right now.
The sense of urgency that you love to see, and there's a takedown by Shabliy, and that will neutralize King momentarily, but King very busy, very active off his back, but Shabliy able to stem the tide.
A beautiful tire choke by Alexandr Shabliy, throwing Bobby King onto his back. All technique in that takedown.
But that's exactly, as we mentioned, John, what you want to see out of a Bobby King to start the third and final round.
Oh yeah, you're seeing the guy saying, well, I got to do something. I got to make this fight happen. I think I need to finish, and I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go after him. That's what he was doing.
And again, just 6 days away from turning 38, the clock is ticking on Bobby King's MMA career. Undefeated here in Bellator again with that split decision win over Nick Newell at Bellator 260 in June, but in tough against Alexandr Shabliy, who is also 1-0 in Bellator.
You're talking about a guy with a ton of talent in Shabliy. Nobody wants to fight this guy. He's that talented. Bobby King takes the fight. And he's showing, look, he can fight with him. It's just the little things that are making Shabliy win each round. He's getting the better of Bobby King. But Bobby King is still in this fight.
In fact, Shabliy told us when it came to the top 10 of the division, he had a message: stop running, accept those fights with me, or just move out of my way.
If I was in his division, I would definitely avoid him.
Well, King trying to avoid the attack from top position. Shabliy, a hand-to-hand combat master of sports and combat Sambo master of sports. Sambo, of course, huge in Russia. A guy by the name of Fedor. Pretty good at that sport as well, John.
Been a world champion a couple of times.
And Shabliy, you talk about your fight IQ. Hey, this guy's got a bachelor degree in law. He wants to lay down the law in the cage on Bobby King tonight.
Bobby King doing a very nice job of continuing to try to attack Shabliy. Shabliy hasn't been able to launch much from this top position as far as taking the fight to the ground. Not a whole lot of damage, not a whole lot of strikes being thrown by Shabliy, because really he's just controlling. So right now, Bobby King's in a position where he's trying to go for submissions. You see him turning here, changing that angle, looking for something to happen. It's just he can't catch Shabliy out of position.
And it's been 7 years since Bobby Shabliy secured a submission, but make that Alexandr Shabliy, boy. Bobby King, Shabliy, yes. And Bobby King.
Alexandr Shabliy does most of his work with
the
his
fans
punches.
Don't appreciate me butchering the name. You hear that, John?
I don't think that has anything to do with this. They want to see more out of Alexandr Shabliy. They want to see him working for the finish and working as hard as what Bobby King is trying to do and getting something done against the guy who's dominated him in the fight.
King did score a armbar submission victory over Steven Seiler back in February of this year.
Nice pass to half guard by Shabliy. Bobby King able to put him right back in the guard. Shabliy needs to really posture up and just start to land big shots. Don't go after that little shoe shine stuff. Start landing the heaviest shots you can land.
And for the 6th time in 7 preliminary fights. We are going to the judges' scorecards.
Making the judges work.
Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we go again to your cage-side judges. For all three, Peter Rogers, Dave Peabody, Dave Hagan, scoring the same 30. The 27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Alexandr Shabliy.
Alexandr Shabliy now 2-0 in Bellator MMA. Let's go to Amanda Guerra.
Moro, thank you. Well, we are just minutes away from kicking off the main card on Showtime, headlined by one of the fights of the year, Kyoji Horiguchi, back in the Bellator cage to take back what he gave up, the Bantamweight belt. Sergio Pettis says, it may be mine right now, but I am babysitting it until I can beat Horiguchi. We'll see you in just moments on Showtime.
2021 has been a banner year for Bellator MMA. We've witnessed the next generation of stars emerge. While championship belts found new mantles to call home.
And now, I'm the champ!
Legends delivered fantastic finishes.
And the GOAT reigns supreme!
And $1 million dream was manifested.
The new Bellator Featherweight World Champion.
Tonight, we put a bow on the year with a much-anticipated Bellator Bantamweight Championship culture clash. Newly minted ruler Sergio Pettis.
One of the happiest moments of my MMA career for sure. You know, all the hard work, finally got my chance to get a title, and it was awesome to share that with my coach, my brother, and just my team.
Defends his belt against Japan's best at 135, Kyoji Horiguchi.
This guy was the last man to hold his belt, and no one took it from him. You know, he just vacated it, and I feel like if I beat him, I'm the real champion at 135.
It's champion versus champion in a main event super fight. As the sun begins to set on 2021, Bellator MMA brings the holiday season heat from its home away from home, Mohegan Sun Casino and Resort in Uncasville, Connecticut. And hey, even Louise thinks it's the most wonderful time of the year for mixed martial arts fans because Bellator unwraps a special gift. A rare champion versus champion summit meeting with a Bellator Bantamweight Championship on the line. Hello and happy holidays. I'm Mauro Ranallo. Tonight, we wrap up an amazing annum for Bellator MMA. 8 warriors have had the honor of holding the Bellator 135-pound championship belt. And the fun began at Bellator 32, October 14, 2010, with Zach Fun-Size Makovsky making history as the first. The 6th champion, Kyoji Horiguchi, who dethroned Darion Caldwell in his promotional debut at Bellator 222 inside Madison Square Garden, later vacated the title due to a knee injury that required surgery. Newly minted kingpin Sergio Pettis was surgical in dissecting Juan Archuleta over 5 hotly contested rounds at Bellator 258 back in May. And the stage is set for one of the most anticipated championship fights of the year, bringing in my broadcast brother, Big John McCarthy. And I hope you will indulge me and set the table for what promises to be a mouth-watering main event.
Now, this is a fantastic main event. You're looking at our champion in Sergio Pettis, a guy who has now stepped outside of the shadow of his brother and is the champion of the family, a guy whose maturity both in and out of the cage is now seen, and a guy with a fight IQ that can get through anybody. And then you're taking a look at his opponent, a guy in Kyoji Horiguchi. He is the next guy in the Japanese culture he's the new samurai. You can go back to Ramina Sato, go to Hamaka Sakurai, go to Kazushi Sakuraba. These were the guys that made Japanese MMA. Well, this is the man that has now brought it to the next level. He is possibly one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. He is phenomenal. He's learned how to wrestle. He's moved from Japan to Coconut Creek, and he lives now in Florida. He's an amazing fighter. This should be an incredible championship fight. All right, as simple as it gets. Take a look, 10-3. Very nice record to 9-0 for Johnny Eblen. He wants to make that 10-0.
With the official introductions, here's Michael C. Williams.
Introducing the blue corner, at 6'3", weighing in 185 pounds even, making his Bellator debut. He brings 10 professional victories, 3 defeats. By way of Nevis, Minnesota, he fights out of Phoenix, Arizona, Collin Huckbody. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner, at 6'1", weighing in the same 185 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated at 9-0, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, by way of Kansas City, Missouri. Introducing Johnny Diamond Hands Eblen. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Brian Miner.
Round 1. Eblen immediately attacking the leg of Huckbody, who switches to southpaw. Body kick by Eblen.
Beautiful counter. Nice job by Johnny Eblen. Watch him catch the kick and then throw the beautiful left-right.
Solid right hand that landed for Eblen. Kick right underneath the armpit, and it's all Johnny Eblen early. Huckbody launches a low kick and another one of his own, but countered by Eblen. Keeps that left hand, and Johnny Eblen going on the attack and taking Huckbody to the canvas.
Huckbody eating a lot of shots right here. He needs to do something other than what you're seeing.
And young Huck is stopped here. Johnny Eblen. Happy early 30th birthday as he improves to 10-0 with his 5th knockout victory. He is 6-0 in Bellator MMA, number 5, and a man to keep your eyes on.
Definitely a man to keep your eyes on. You have to be very impressed with what you saw out of Johnny Eblen. He came to fight. He was doing everything offensive. Take a look at what happens here. Nice leg kick, and then he goes after the shots. Big left hand touches. That affects Huckbody. Eblen then goes after him, takes him down, and right away, heavy ground and pound, landing a big left hand. That jackhammer just kept on finding its spot. Huckbody turns his back. You cannot do that in a professional fight. That's what's going to bring the referee in. Good stoppage. Nice win by Johnny Eblen.
It would take longer to come up with his list of nicknames than it would to rewatch what we just saw, as Diamond Hands, also been christened the human cheat code by his coach King Mo at American Top Team, was known as Jeblin, Korean Canelo, more nicknames than professional wrestler Ed Leslie, who you probably best know as Brutus Beefcake. A brutal display by Johnny Eblen to kick off Bellator 272. Let's make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, referee Brian Miner steps in, weighs off the contest due to strikes. Official time, 1 minute, 11 seconds into round number 1 by TKO. He's still undefeated, Johnny Diamond Hands Eblen.
At 1-1-1 of round 1, Johnny Eblen gets it done again. 10-0 with 6 KOs. Let's go to Big John McCarthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your winner, Johnny Eblen. Johnny, you came out in that fight, you established quickly, you were going after him offensively, you caught the kick, you hit him with a beautiful left hand. What were you wanting to do here to everyone to show exactly where you belong in the middleweight division?
To be completely honest, John, I wanted to send that dude to the metaverse. Sadly, I could not do that tonight. I wish I could have put on a better show, but it is what it is.
I tell you what, you put on a fantastic show because you went after him. You made him turn up. You made a professional fighter turn into someone that had to turn away from you. That was a great performance. You have now put yourself at 10-0. That's impressive. You fight. You train out of Coconut Creek with all these guys. You've gone all through all of these nicknames too, and we're going to start calling you the human cheat code. But who is it that you should be facing here in the cage in your next fight?
Honestly, John Salter, I signed a bout agreement to fight you in Florida, and you I don't know if you got hurt or if you but I want to see you in this cage, dog. Let's go. Let's gear up and let's get after it.
That's what I call a call out. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Johnny Diamond Hands Eblen.
Bantamweight battle, let's take a look at the numbers, John.
And look at the numbers are exactly what we were talking about before. 140 pounds for Jared Scoggins. The commission took 35% from him because they were not happy with how much that was. And I think it should actually be higher.
Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Introducing the blue corner. At 5'7", weighing in 140 pounds tonight, he makes his Bellator debut with 10 professional victories, just 1 defeat from Spartanburg, South Carolina, Jared Psycho Scoggins. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 5'6", weighing in 135 3/4 pounds as a professional. 20 wins, 4 losses from Fonthill, Ontario, Canada, presenting gentleman Josh Hill. In charge, your referee Kerry Petley.
Gentlemen, this one you work for. You ready? You ready? Let's go to war.
Bell, round 1. Hill has had 3 fights in the Bellator MMA cage. They've all gone the distance. He said he wants the finish. He really wants to finish this time around. In fact, he said Quote, I would bet on that, close quote. Scoggins might have something to say about that as he tests the waters early with that high kick blocked by Hill.
Look, we talked about Scoggins missing weight stuff, but that's over with because now they're fighting, and Scoggins has got a lot of style to him. He fights in that karate stance. He is good in the stand-up. Josh Hill has got to find a way to get inside, get his hands on and around Scoggins to be successful in this fight.
Scoggins, nicknamed the Psycho, got it when he was training. His training partner said he looked psycho because he did not blink when he sparred. Meanwhile, Hill tells us he has a leather belt in badassery. He's never done gi training, and for Josh Hill, we're seeing it early here, opening minute. Wants to open up more, but now in the clinch with Scoggins.
And that was Scoggins initiating that clinch. So Scoggins has the belief that he can get into a clinch, get into a wrestling situation, and take Josh Hill to the ground. Not sure I agree with him on that.
Hill, lifelong hockey player like the rest of his family. Gee, a Canadian who played hockey. Imagine that. Didn't begin training MMA until the age of 21, but quickly emerged as one of the top fighters in the True North Strong and Free, and now really trying to make a move here in Bellator MMA, and against Rafion Stotts had an opportunity to do so, unable to do so.
Well, when you're talking about his loss to Rafion Stotts, that's his only loss in the Bellator cage, and you're talking about a guy who is one of the best bantamweights in the world now. Rafion Stotts is just an amazing fighter. Added to the win now against Magomed Magomedov. So that is nothing to sneeze about. And when you take a look at Josh Hill, yeah, he lost a decision to him. Josh Hill can fight with anybody.
And Stotts, part of the Grade 8 in the Bantamweight Grand Prix. Of course, speaking of the Bantamweight division, center stage, main event, Sergio Pettis defending the crown against a man who never lost it inside the Bellator MMA cage, Kyoji Horiguchi.
Josh Hill doing a very good job of understanding the range of Scoggins, being outside of that range and then trying to close the distance to land his shots on his counters. And he's trying to eat up that leg, which is telling you he wants to slow Scoggins moving down.
Upstairs as Scoggins went downstairs with the kicks. Hill owns his own gym, Vision Quest MMA, so definitely has the entrepreneurial spirit. A father of one daughter, Marley, 3-year-old, and stepson's name is Carter, he's 11. Scoggins also a family man. Has 3 sons as they begin to try to test the waters even more here. Minute and a half left in the opening round.
Josh Hill landed a clean right hand on Scoggins. Scoggins just ate it like it was nothing.
Oh, Hill from a momentarily southpaw back towards the front. Body kick by Scoggins from southpaw. And Hill securing the takedown with less than a minute to go in the first frame.
This is what will make Josh Hill successful in this fight. It may not be exciting to people, but he is very good in the top position. He controls well. He has good ground and pound. He needs to posture in this situation to land some heavier shots and make Scoggins pay for allowing that takedown.
And Hill definitely adept at closing the distance quickly, as we just saw. 30 seconds left here in the opening round. By the way, mentioned Hill's kids, need to mention the wife, Jen, as well, who will, I'm sure, take advantage of that 35% extra. And maybe it was because Josh Hill turned 35 last month, as he tries to control from top position on the bottom. Scoggins launching some strikes, but we go to round 2.
All right, deep breath. Okay, listen, he's leaving the gap down the middle. So we need to look for long, straight punches. Don't be afraid to pull, throw a pull here, pull there. And if you open up, he opens up, throw that blitz, get in on his face. But he's both his hands are out here. You just got to get into range to find it. Straight kicks, side kicks, everything straight. Okay?
Round number 2, how do you have it on your unofficial scorecard?
Unofficially, I have Josh Hill winning that round 10-9. Close round, but Josh Hill landed the better, cleaner shots, got the takedown, landed some shots from the ground and pound position.
Karateka stylings of Jared Scoggins. Side stance looking for that kick. Hill walking him down. Hill switching to southpaw again, back to orthodox. So we talk about the mental game, and obviously a lot going on mentally. Right hand, and it's over! Just like that, Josh Hill puts Jared Scoggins in airplane mode. Josh Hill promised a finish. He said, bet on it. Well, he delivered on his promise in stunning fashion.
Stunning fashion is an understatement when you think about the timing of that shot. Scoggins coming in and only intensified that shot that landed so clean and put him out. Watch what happens here. Comes in, right hand, right on the chin. Scoggins is out as he falls. Josh Hill doesn't even, goes for another shot, realizes he's out, doesn't land something he doesn't have to. That's why he's called the gentleman. Big time win for Josh Hill. Look at this again, boom. Look at that ear, getting all that hydrostatic shock. Take a look at how fast this happened in real time though. Watch the movement forward and boom, it's over.
When it comes to knockouts, Hill now has 5 on it. A memorable display of power as Josh Hill knocks out Jared Scoggins in Scoggins' Bellator MMA debut. And Hill improves to 3-1 in the deep waters that is the Bellator MMA Bantamweight division.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the end comes suddenly 56 seconds into round number 2. The winner by knockout, gentleman, Josh Hill.
KO Canada. Let's go to John McCarthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Josh Hill. Josh, that was a dramatic and dynamic finish to a contest. In the first round, you started at the end of the round, seemed to get your timing down with him, and where he was trying to come in, you were starting to time that. You got the takedown. When you went back into the second round, were you looking for that big finish? You talked about, you told us, I'm going to finish this fight.
Yeah, this one was about timing. We knew that first round it might be hard to get that timing down because he's very jumpy in and out. But my coach said, we're going to get it, he's going to get it. I landed in the first, I'm not on the button, but that one was right on the button.
You are number 7 on the list. That should move you up, but you're not in the Bantamweight Grand Prix. Do you believe you belong there?
Hell yeah, I believe I belong there. This division is stacked, though. It is stacked, so I understand it. I am the next spot, I think. I'm number 7, you know what I mean? So, hey, I want in. If any injuries or pullouts, I'm your man.
I can tell you right now, President Scott Coker just said that just earned him. He is the guy. If anyone falls out, Josh Hill is the guy that moves in there. You happy about that?
Oh, hell yeah. I should be in there regardless, but hey, I'm your number 1 man.
Well, congratulations on an awesome win. You made him pay for not making weight. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the gentleman, Josh Hill. 20-6 versus 16-3. Two outstanding featherweights looking to put themselves into a position to possibly get that title match. We'll see what happens.
Here, once again, Michael C. Williams.
We introduce first the blue corner. At 5'11", weighing in 145 3/4 pounds, his professional record, 16 wins, 3 losses. From Surrey, British Columbia, Canada, he fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Jeremy JBC Kennedy. And across the ring, the cage rather, his adversary, out of the red corner, at 5'9", weighing in 145 1/4 pounds, the two-time Bellator title challenger, brings 20 professional victories, 6 defeats, fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Emmanuel El Matador Sanchez. And the referee in charge, Dan Mergliata.
Kennedy with 3 wins in the first round. Sanchez with 6 wins in the opening round, and first round underway. Sanchez rushes to the center of the cage, touches gloves with Kennedy. What do you look for early in this fight, John?
What I look for from Sanchez is a pressure, a constant pressure with a lot of volume attack on Jeremy Kennedy. Don't try to hit him hard, just try to keep touching him. And Jeremy Kennedy's got to figure out that footwork pattern that Emmanuel Sanchez uses. He changes back and forth, but he needs to get into that position right there to get his takedowns, and he needs to be effective with the takedown and keeping him on the ground.
Sanchez competing in his 18th Bellator featherweight bout. That's tied with current champion A.J. McKee for the second most appearances in divisional history, behind Patricio Pitbull, 23. A minute gone here as Sanchez looking for the Kimura.
Well, it was a nice job of Sanchez stepping over leg, almost getting that Kimura to actually have an effect. Jeremy kept his composure, kept his hands locked, and was right back to it. Now he doesn't have that Kimura grip, and he's in a position with a high crotch. He can get Sanchez onto the ground. Look at where he's looking. He's posture, very smart, tactical, and he's not burning a lot of energy from the position.
Catch Wrestler texted me, said, hey, double wrist lock.
Either way you want to call it.
It's painful.
Right. They're both right.
Yes. Sanchez very aware of his surroundings, even taking a look at his corner as Kennedy lifts him up and takes him down.
Nice elevation by Jeremy Kennedy.
High amplitude.
And he needs to just now force his back to the canvas like he's doing. Sanchez is very active from this position, and Kennedy needs to move this position up to stop those blows. You see Sanchez looking for an omoplata there. He can use that not only as a submission, but just to sweep and get himself to the top position.
Kennedy began training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when he was 13. As a brown belt under Viviano Fernandez. He started competing in pancration, which of course allows a bit of striking along with takedowns when he was 16. So he's a lifer when it comes to MMA, representing the next generation of mixed martial artists.
No doubt about it. He's in the half guard position here, but this is where Sanchez needs to make sure that he does not settle for position. He's got to continuously work to get back to his feet or get into that position where we talk about the 3 S's. He needs to either look for the sweep, the submission, or get back to the stand-up.
Nice escape. You talked about the 3 S's when it came to Japanese MMA at the start of the show with Kyoji Horiguchi coming up. You mentioned Sato, Sakurai, and Sakuraba.
Very true.
Really looking forward to the main event, and what is at stake there, but so much at stake here in this meeting between top 10 ranked featherweights. And again with Sanchez, who is experiencing the first 2-fight losing streak of his long career.
Jeremy Kennedy doing a great job of being Velcro. He has stuck to Emmanuel Sanchez. This is exactly what his coach, Eric Nixick, wants out of him, because this is where he can win the fight. If he gets into the open area of the cage with Sanchez on the feet, that is not his area to win this fight.
And Sanchez looking for that rolling knee bar attempt, but just now on his back, hammer fist from the bottom.
In a position to possibly look towards, the triangle choke right here, and that is Sanchez's favorite submission. So what he says he gets more often than anything in training.
And he has 3 triangle choke submissions to go along with 3 rear naked chokes, an arm triangle and an arm bar, but Kennedy defending here in the first round.
Nice posture by Kennedy, that's going to defend against that position right now. There is no triangle. We're talking about a high guard with a good body position by Jeremy Kennedy, just defending.
Kennedy has never been submitted.
But this is what, if you're Emmanuel Sanchez, you've now put Kennedy, who's in the top position, on the defense. He cannot do anything offensive right now because he's got to be worried about that triangle getting locked up.
And time will run out on Sanchez's attempt as Kennedy delivers some punches within the guard to close out the round.
A little blood over here. How you feel? Good. Good. Couple deep breaths. All right, listen. So now your level change has got some validity to it. He's got to worry about the takedown now. I want layers. I want levels. I want to see him up and down, right? Then our striking has its validity. Then we give our fit in. Draw it out. He had no answer in the ground game. Nothing. You understand? Steady pace. Stay on top. Cook this. What do you got, Eddie?
Got it, Bubba. You're doing good. But let's stick. You're right. Stick, circle. Hit hard, circle. Hit hard. Because all he wants to do is, and remember the mana toggle kick and move, okay?
A big night for Rufus Sport out of Milwaukee. Duke Rufus training both Emmanuel Sanchez, and he will be in the corner of the Bellator Bantamweight champion Sergio Pettis in tonight's main event. Kennedy, meanwhile, receiving expert instructions from his trainer Eric Nixick out of Extreme Couture in Las Vegas. And John, how do you have it on your unofficial scorecard?
Unofficially, I'm going to give that round to Sanchez based upon, yes, Jeremy Kennedy took him down and he controlled a lot of where the fight was at. He wasn't able to land anything and there was no submission attempts out of him. And I saw that out of Sanchez, so right now, it's close and it could go either way, but I'm going to go with Sanchez.
Sanchez looking to run the pipe on the single, turning it into a double. Now has the waist lock from the back in the first 30 seconds of the second round.
But notice the difference, at least when Sanchez has this body lock, he's landing knee strikes. He's doing something more than just controlling the position.
Sanchez, proud Mexican-American. His parents came to the United States in search of the American dream. And wow!
Nice job by Jeremy Kennedy. He's the one that did that maneuver. Beautiful foot sweep.
And Kennedy now in top position. Half butterfly hook employed by Sanchez. And he is delivering hammer fist from the bottom, trying to keep Kennedy distracted.
Looking towards that omoplata, you see that Jeremy Kennedy is defending it. He's holding that arm against, using the weight of Sanchez to make it to where he cannot slide it around.
Slashing elbow and hammer fist and another elbow by Sanchez as blood begins to decorate the canvas and the fighters' bodies.
And this right now is the difference. You're seeing Sanchez is at least trying to strike. I've seen one strike land for Jeremy Kennedy since he's got that takedown. Just need to see a little bit more out of him.
2 minutes elapsed here in round two. Waist lock by Kennedy. Sanchez back on his feet along the fence, looking to break the grip. And Kennedy wanting to launch another amplitude takedown, and Sanchez against the fence.
Sanchez working hard, and Kennedy doing a great job with his body position, using that head as a third arm to grind him towards the canvas. This is exactly where Jeremy Kennedy needs to be. Now we just need to see him open up a little bit and start to try to either look for the submission or do some damage with strikes.
Kennedy facing one of the most battle-tested 145-pound fighters on the planet.
Come on, man, go, 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 go. Yes, yes, go, go, go. Go, 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 go.
Kennedy spinning north-south. And Sanchez active on the bottom.
Sanchez being very active, but he has nothing there. And what Jeremy Kennedy is allowing him to do is just slide underneath him. Yes, he's moving, but there's no active submission there. It's just a change of position.
Yeah, Kennedy in side control now, looking to take the back of Sanchez. And Jeremy Kennedy putting his hooks in, John, and looking for the submission.
Very nice job by Jeremy Kennedy. Get the back. He's controlling right there. He's only got one hook now. Sanchez was able to free his right leg. But Jeremy Kennedy in what we call a seatbelt position there.
And Kennedy with 2 submission wins, including a rear naked choke. The last submission victory was via RNC against Andre Da Silva back in August 2014.
Jeremy Kennedy trying to land a couple strikes to open up Sanchez. Sanchez throwing those strikes back, but they mean nothing. There's no power to him. You can't do any damage with him.
Final minute of the second. Sanchez desperate to try to get the fight back to its feet.
Great grappling transitions by both fighters. Sanchez always moving, always creating an opening. Jeremy Kennedy trying to flow with it.
Yeah, and he puts his pressure, puts his weight on Sanchez. Wide base. Final half minute of the second. Both fighters back on their feet here with Sanchez stapled to the fence.
Watch your feet. Short time, kid, short time. All day.
Kennedy, 6 of 7 in the takedown department. Sanchez 0 for 2 as we near the end of round number 2. Grueling battle at 145.
Couple deep breaths for me. 2 more. Last one. Hey, beautiful round. We know what he's got to do. He's got to come out swinging and banging. Let's drop levels, feint hard, draw out whatever the he's got coming for us. Put him on his ass and cook this clock. Listen to me. This is for Kyle. We gonna get this for Kyle. You understand me? Right now. Let's go.
Still to come in the main event, Sergio Pettis seeking his 5th straight victory, undefeated in Bellator MMA, maiden voyage as a 135-pound champion, but he has admitted he's not the real champ until he defeats Kyoji Horiguchi, the 2-time Ryzen ruler at 135, former Bellator champion, dethroned Darion Caldwell, was forced to vacate the title, chose to do so after suffering a knee injury that required surgery November 2019, and he is back to claim what he never lost. That's in the main event right now. Another crucial matchup at 145, the 3rd and final round. Eric Nixick doing his best to motivate Jeremy Kennedy, and Kennedy gets the takedown to begin the 3rd round.
Jeremy Kennedy responding. I look at this fight, I have it either. It's going to be one of 2 things. Jeremy Kennedy is up 2 rounds to nothing, or it's even at best for Sanchez. Take a look at him taking the back right now. Sanchez was able to work his way through this against the cage. Can he do the same thing? Body lock. Got a body triangle now by Jeremy Kennedy. Now it's all about the hands. The hand fighting begins. Emmanuel Sanchez is very adept at being able to defend against the choke.
Sanchez has been submitted just once, a technical sub-guillotine choke against the aforementioned Patricio Pitbull. That was at Bellator 255 in April of this year. A minute gone in the final round.
Eric Dixon told Jeremy Kennedy that Emmanuel Sanchez was going to come after him. That's exactly what happened. Drop or change of levels by Jeremy Kennedy. Takes the fight to the ground, gets the back. This is exactly what he wanted.
Sanchez said that tonight was about winning at all costs, and 3.5 minutes now remain in this fight. Body triangle employed by Kennedy.
Jeremy Kennedy's got his right arm. It's trapped inside of the arm of Emmanuel Sanchez. Emmanuel knows it. That's why he's laying to that side. Even though if he wants to get out of the body triangle, he needs to actually go to the other side and put that foot to the ground.
Ring blocking is Sanchez. Under 3 minutes left in the round, and Sanchez needs to try to find a way to escape the body triangle. Needs to get this fight back on its feet. No sense of urgency. And time continues to tick away. Kennedy more than happy to continue to ride it out from back. Looking again for the rear naked choke.
Looking for that. It's not in position right now.
Base crank.
It is not an easy thing to get against someone that knows what they're doing. But Jeremy Kennedy should now switch to that mount position, look for the arm triangle, or start to do damage with heavy strikes.
Get that body lock! Don't let a body lock you, come on! Fight up, fight up, fight up!
Emmanuel Sanchez moving himself up. The more that he can actually climb that cage, the better position he's going to be in getting away from Jeremy Kennedy or changing the position.
Sanchez right in front of his trainer, Duke Rufus, and now Sanchez employing a hold on the neck of Kennedy.
And he's got the neck and he's got the arms in place, but he's got nothing with the legs that's going to create the pressure that he needs to make that choke work.
8 submission wins for Sanchez. None of them via guillotine choke, looking to pull out the victory.
Jeremy Kennedy is not in danger right now with this choke. He's just relaxing in the position.
And Sanchez has to be careful not to burn out his arms.
Well, burn out your arms. There's only a minute left in the fight. You got to do something, but you've got to do something to create more pressure on this choke. And he does not have that based upon his leg position.
A minute left.
Here you go! Here you go! 1 minute, man!
It looks good in pro wrestling. He would go unconscious, but this is the real fight, Moron. He knows what he's doing. That is not a dangerous position right now for Jeremy Kennedy.
That's it, everything you got. You got 30 seconds, baby! 30 seconds!
Now he starts to get that leg over the top. Possibly get that knee up inside. There's
Kennedy pops his head out, and now with 20 seconds left, it is Kennedy in top position, looking for the biggest victory of his career, looking to knock off the number 4 ranked Emmanuel Sanchez, who has twice vied for the Bellator Featherweight title. Kennedy, Sanchez, go the distance.
Look, a lot of people are not going to be so impressed with what Jeremy Kennedy just did, but that was a fantastic performance by Jeremy Kennedy. He fought the exact fight he needed to get a win against Emmanuel Sanchez. You have to appreciate everything that he did in that fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go now to your 3 judges at cage side. Doug Crosby, Ron McCarthy, David Hagan. All have it exactly the same at 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Jeremy JBC Kennedy.
The biggest win of his career for Jeremy Kennedy. Let's go to Big John McCarthy.
I am here with Jeremy Kennedy after a very grinding and grueling but dominant performance. You, in your prior fights, started to become someone that was a stand-up guy with all that grappling skill, and I know you had some coaches that were not too happy with you. Talk to me about what your game plan was coming in here.
First and foremost, I've been looking forward to this. Having an interview with Big John McCarthy. My third fight in Bellator finally happened. I can't seem to kind of find it. Last fight, my coaches got mad at me. I got a world-class, an atomic bomb is what my coach says. It's a 100-mile fastball. I got to use it. And last fight I didn't. I wanted to try to mix it up, change up my style, and I was competitive, but I had to, get back to my roots. I would have liked to mix it up a bit more. But Sanchez, man, he's in your face the whole time. It's hard to dictate that, that good calculated range. He kind of just came right at me, and I had to go right to my roots. And I put a lot of pressure on myself for this one. I had a very close friend pass. He was in my corner for the last few fights. Kyle Boom Rays. I didn't want to go home with a loss. I didn't want to take any any chance, zero chances whatsoever. I wanted to win every single exchange. 30-27, I wanted to win every second of every moment of this fight, and I didn't care what that looked like. I had to get the W, and I put all that on my shoulders. Next time around, I'm gonna get back to having fun, but find that happy medium. Like me and my coach says, it's a teeter-totter, Gotta find the happy medium, and I'm just a little bit swaying right now. And yeah, this one was for Boom. Don't care, I need to get my hand raised at all costs. I wasn't coming here without a win.
I want to tell you, you just beat the guy who is ranked number 4. You should be moving up in the Bellator rankings. I want to congratulate you on an outstanding, tough, grinding victory.
And yeah, I just want to get some respect on my name, man. I wanted to get high on those rankings. The bookies had me at an underdog, ranked number 9th. Like, come on. I've been around, man, fought in all the best world, promotions. Let's go, come on, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jeremy Kennedy. Jeremy Kennedy, you owe your coaches dinner. Throughout his career, Sergio Pettis has usually been the smaller fighter, shorter, with less reach, but he uses angles and that creates good distance. He doesn't have to worry about that. Horiguchi, 5'5", with a 65-inch reach. That's a 4-inch reach advantage for Sergio Pettis.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
And now first, introducing the blue corner. At 5'5", weighing in 134.5 pounds, the reigning rising Bantamweight world champion and former Bellator title holder enters with 29 professional victories, only 3 defeats, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida. He hails from Takasaki, Vermont, Japan, presenting the challenger, Kyoji the Karate Kid Horiguchi. Across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner. At 5'6", weighing in 134 pounds even, in his first world title defense, he stands with 21 professional victories, 5 losses. From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the defending Bellator Bantamweight world champion, Sergio Pettis. The referee in charge, Todd Anderson.
Gentlemen, we over the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you wish to touch gloves, do so now. Step back.
The Bellator Bantamweight belt on the line. Pettis says he will dictate the pace and the range. Horiguchi feels his speed, power, and reflexes are what separate him from Pettis. They touch gloves. Scheduled for 5 5 rounds. Inside leg kick connects for Horiguchi. He will dart in and out. Meanwhile, Pettis, an effective counter striker.
Very effective counter striker, but you're seeing exactly what Josh Thompson was talking about. Look at the open, loose style of Horiguchi and look at the tight, controlled manner that Sergio Pettis fights with. So it's really a matter of do those counters land? But Horiguchi comes in to get his offensive action going. Does Pettis land those counters?
Horiguchi coming off a knockout victory over Kai Asakura last New Year's Eve, where he became a 2-time Rising champion as Pettis landed the right hand, avenging a knockout loss to Asakura. Both of them were standouts at flyweight at 125, but really coming into their own here, now at 135.
You got to look at, Sergio Pettis has a win over the current UFC champion in Bantamweights.
And Horiguchi gets the takedown.
That's what's important. It's not that Sergio does not know how to defend on the kicks.
And Horiguchi has Pettis back.
But it takes all of his offense in the stand-up away.
Horiguchi has 3 submission wins, including a rear naked choke. And Pettis' lone submission defeat came via rear naked choke.
Pettis trying to fight the hands now, trying to break them apart.
Pettis was training with former K1 lightweight tournament runner-up Ren Hiramoto, who gave Pettis plenty of insight into Horiguchi, only 23 years of age. Duke Rufus, Pettis' coach, calls him one bad mofo.
He's right about
that. Spinning back kick to the midsection, connects for Horiguchi.
What you saw from Horiguchi when he decided to abandon that takedown, he at least made Pettis pay and landed a clean strike.
Pettis will try to restrict the movement of Horiguchi if he can. Horiguchi, and you talk about noting patterns, John. When you study tape, you look for patterns.
Well, that's one of the patterns you'll see right there out of Horiguchi. That big looping overhand right. He'll take a step and he likes to walk away from what is normally his power side, and as his opponent reaches over to go cut him off, he'll come in with that looping right hand. He does it all the time. He's very successful with it.
Yeah, it's proven to be lethal. Under 2 minutes left in the opening round. Horiguchi leaping at Pettis. Pettis trying to work the jab, but Horiguchi is chewing up the real estate.
Well, right now, Pettis is being very controlled.
Another spinning back kick. And the right hand by Horiguchi. So Horiguchi, as expected, bringing the offense to Sergio Pettis, looking for his 30th victory. And we talk about the legends from the land of the rising sun, and you ask many people, including Big John McCarthy, and they will say that Kyoji Horiguchi is the best Japanese mixed martial artist of all time.
You take a look at what he's done in his career. He has been absolutely spectacular. There have been some just unbelievable MMA fighters from Japan.
Oh, beautifully done there by Horiguchi. Captain, he went over with the left and goes to the body. Pettis comes back with a combination. 45 seconds left in the first round. Pettis wants to corral Horiguchi. How can he do so? How can he mitigate the movement of Horiguchi?
Well, what he's doing right now is right. He's not getting caught up in all the motion. He is being very tactical and very composed and tight, but he needs to stop as far as moving backwards. When you see him moving backwards, he cannot do that and win this fight. He needs to come forward and he needs to create the angles by stepping where he believes Horiguchi wants to go.
1-2 by Horiguchi.
Just like that.
And the left hook. And there, Pettis with the kick. Horiguchi with emerge with a much more dynamic display of offense in the first 5 minutes. Pettis landed just 3 of 28 strikes, according to our stats. While Horiguchi, 20 of 37. That's over 50%, 54% connect rate.
Beautiful round. Same thing.
2-1,
Keep it simple. 1-0. Ones and twos. Jab cross. Very good.
You gotta play with
Let's try to get one takedown around. And
Spinning back kick by Horiguchi lands perfectly right almost to the sternum area of Anthony Pettis, and then he comes right back and does it one more time. This one landing a little bit lower, right to the solar plexus. That is a clean, beautiful strike, and the big right hand coming right now. This is what he loves to do. And when you're looking at what Sergio Pettis is doing, he needs to set up those counters and be successful with those counters when Horiguchi makes those attacks.
Bell, round 2. Horiguchi coming out southpaw to start the second round. Kick lands for Horiguchi, back to orthodox. And the one thing about Pettis, always remains calm, stays true to his game plan, and gets knocked off his feet momentarily by Horiguchi.
Beautiful low kick by Horiguchi. It's not that Pettis has not been in there with guys that have the same type of movement. It's the speed factor with that movement that creates the problems. Horiguchi is incredibly quick.
And incredibly powerful for this weight class.
That's what's impressive, because you don't get guys that usually have one punch knockout power at that size, and he has it.
More than half of his 29 victories have come thanks to his knockout power. 15 KOs on his illustrious resume. And changes levels and gets the takedown on Pettis.
Does it with just technique, beautiful technique. That's what he went to American Top Team for. That's when he ended up losing to Demetrius Johnson. It was the wrestling factor. He said, I need to change it up, has moved himself to Florida, and now you see the difference.
Submitted by one of the best ever in Demetrius Johnson with 1 second left in the 5th and final round. And here, up kicks.
Nice up kick by Sergio Pettis.
And Pettis looking to get the omoplata on Horiguchi, but Horiguchi, a crafty veteran.
He's got too much position right now, but he needs to be careful of that up kick again.
And he's dropping the ground and pound on Pettis. Lands a right hand before snatching the waist. Knee strikes to the right leg of Pettis by Horiguchi. Constantly looking to improve. And now hooks.
He's got a leg Turk on that one side, and he just wants to open up with that right hand. You're seeing that Sergio Pettis doing what we call a baseball grip on it, just holding on to that. Horiguchi is definitely cut under his right eye, though.
Under the eye, preferable to over the eye. But we will monitor that cut.
Well, that cut could have been from one of those up kicks when we talked about that up kick looking like it landed.
Right hands here.
That's what opened up that cut.
Horiguchi, as Pettis tries to wrist control momentarily. Under 2 minutes left in the second round. Wrist control by Pettis, and again that baseball grip, as you mentioned, John, and yet needs to try to escape. Bit of a stalemate here, a minute and a half left in the second, and there's a couple of right hands from the back by Horiguchi.
This is why you saw Pettis with that grip. That glove is like a big stopper on the end. It's very difficult to get your hand free, but once Horiguchi does, look at what he's doing.
Coming up on the final 60 seconds of the second round, and total strikes landed. Huge edge in favor of Kyoji Horiguchi as they are back on their feet in the final minute of the second stanza.
Pettis really reacting to those feints. You can see when Horiguchi gives him that big hard feint, Pettis is reacting to it. He's a little tight with everything right now.
And he's trying to loosen up right there, John, as you saw. 20 seconds left in the round. And there's a right hand that lands for Horiguchi. It is his money shot jab. It lands for Pettis. Oh,
nice check.
Half kick by Pettis.
That was checked by Horiguchi. That was a beautiful check.
And the spinning back fist misses for Pettis.
Drink when you're ready. A drink when you're ready.
This is that time right here when Horiguchi got into a position. There's the up kick. I believe that might be what actually cut him under the eye. Not sure if it is, but it seems like that was the only thing that could have done it. And that is a clean cut underneath his eye.
When we're on the back again, figure for that leg. Anderson. Yeah.
You can talk about all the things as far as the percentages. You see how many times Horiguchi has touched Pettis compared to what Pettis has done to Horiguchi. But who looks worse right now in the fight because of one shot? Horiguchi.
Man, incredible. That through 2 rounds, Pettis has landed a total of 9 strikes. And yet the one-up kick doing the most damage, as you mentioned, John, as we begin round number 3, and Horiguchi comes out in the southpaw stance, bouncing up and down as he is wont to do, looking to dart in and out, while Pettis, very calm and cool, measured, and despite being a noted counter striker, someone's got to lead the dance. Horiguchi doing that.
Take the rhythm, sir. You take the rhythm. Take the lead.
Take the rhythm, take the lead is the instructions from Duke Rufus.
Well, he's going to have to do something because right now I have him down 2 rounds to none in this fight. He did land that nice up kick, but that's not near enough to take the round. Horiguchi is the one that's been in control of this fight. He's landed a lot of volume. He's landed some heavy shots. Nice, clean left hand right there. Pettis needs to really start to open up.
Horiguchi incredibly accurate, landing at a 59% clip now. And again, attacking the leg and backpedaling. Horiguchi 2 for 3 in the takedown department. Pettis yet to attempt to take down. 90 seconds gone here in the third.
Horiguchi gives so much movement back and forth. You're just not sure of where he's going to go.
There's a spinning back kick again. Scores for Horiguchi, and Pettis unable to get on track. And Horiguchi snatching the single. Pettis feeding him with a few right uppercuts.
Horiguchi started that with that jab. It landed cleanly. See him riding him on his hip. Brings him right down. Beautiful technique by Kyoji Horiguchi.
Third takedown of the fight for Horiguchi.
Horiguchi, beautiful body position. Look at how he's bringing his hips in. See that knee up under that arm area into the ribs. crushing the space for Sergio Pettis on that side, and he's got the fence on the other side. A lot of pressure by Horiguchi right now. Pettis tries to get his guard back. Horiguchi stuffs it, stays in that half guard position.
2 minutes left in the third round. Horiguchi working from top position in the half guard of Sergio Pettis. Pettis desperate to try to escape from underneath Kyoji Horiguchi.
Once again, you saw Pettis trying to, now he's trying to turn into him, but this gives Horiguchi the ability to start opening up with strikes. This is the right thing for Sergio Pettis to do, get that underhook, start working himself back to his feet.
Horiguchi attacking Pettis' neck and now goes behind to the back. Has one hook in momentarily. And now Horiguchi working from Pettis' back, coming up on the final minute of the third round.
Horiguchi transitioned so fast. Took the back, riding the position. Not that Pettis is in any problem as far as a submission right at this moment. Horiguchi just locks things in so fast, moves to where he wants, forces his opponent to go to the direction he wants, and then takes it. Nice job by Sergio Pettis to get himself out.
Sergio Pettis needs to show an uptick in his offense here as time is running out in the third round. 33 seconds. Again, Horiguchi going downstairs with the kick. There's a counter right by Pettis.
Don't wait for him, Sergio.
Unofficially, through 3 rounds, Sergio Pettis has yet to land in double digits in any round.
That's amazing.
Good job, gentlemen. Thank you.
Listen to me. Hey, don't worry. Let's stay sabai, okay? All right, listen to me. The jab isn't about hitting him. The jab is about breaking his rhythm. The more you jab, you break his rhythm. The less you strike, you understand? So keep it busy, I don't need pinpoint accuracy, I need volume. The volume opens up everything else, do you understand? So.
Reason these two corners are as good as they are, the words of Duke Rufus and Mike Brown, they know what they're doing, John.
Absolutely. You can take a look. Here comes that spinning kick once again. Look at the accuracy that Horiguchi ends up landing that with. That is the third time he's thrown it. Each time it has landed and landed with some power. Takedown by Horiguchi. He has dominated this fight. Right now I have Sergio Pettis down by 3 rounds. Only 2 rounds left. That means that he needs to do something special in these next 2 rounds if he wants to walk away with that belt in hand.
Ready? Fight!
Championship rounds are upon us. Round number 4. Duke Rufus wants Pettis to pump the jab. Wants him to break the rhythm of Horiguchi. It's not about accuracy, he says. It's about volume. And Horiguchi again closes the gap quickly, looking for the takedown defended by Pettis. Counter right hand again lands for Pettis. Horiguchi runs right over Pettis into the guard.
Beautiful knee pick by Horiguchi, just drives through. Pettis trying for the elevator sweep, does not get it. And what Pettis is doing right there, he cannot do what you're seeing. That figure 4 on the body is only going to hold Horiguchi in the top position. He's got the ability to land the bigger, heavier strikes. Pettis has got to move. He's got to open up that guard, either attack with submissions, look for the sweep, or get back to the standing position.
Horiguchi back on his feet, allows Pettis to get back up to a vertical base. splits the guard of Pettis, lands. Horiguchi misses with the low kick.
And we're seeing Pettis open up a lot more. He's taking more chances, but by taking more chances, he's also giving opportunities and openings for Horiguchi to exploit.
Throwing 8 punches in the first 2 minutes of the fourth round is taking more chances. We've got a fight here that we've seen a lot of the feinting in there. Finally, Pettis opening up on Horiguchi.
And he hit a beautiful left hand based upon it. Pettis now starting to swing for the fences. He's really trying to load up on his shots. That's not his normal style. His normal style is to just touch you and eventually break you down with his shots. He does have power in his hands. He just needs
lead left hook to the body that lands. The best punch of the fight for Pettis. And we are not seeing the jab that Duke Rufus wanted Pettis to try to use to break Horiguchi's rhythm. And there's a jab from Horiguchi that lands.
He's out!
Are you kidding me?
Sergio Pettis pulling it out like we talked about. He had to do something spectacular.
The smile says it all.
Spinning back fist also says it all.
His brother had the Showtime kick. Sergio Pettis has the spinning back fist that just stopped Kyoji Horiguchi dead in his tracks.
Kyoji Horiguchi winning this entire fight. Take a look, misses with the kick, but hits the spinning back fist. He is out, does not follow up. Look at that shot right on the jawline. Horiguchi is out, going down. That's why you fight the fight, and that's why championship fights are 5 rounds. Take a look at how fast this truly happens. Here comes the kick. It misses Bohn.
In highlight reel fashion, Sergio Pettis just solidified his status. He said he could not call himself the real Bellator MMA Bantamweight champion until he defeated Horiguchi. He didn't just defeat Horiguchi, he destroyed Horiguchi. A monstrous knockout win for Sergio Pettis, successfully defending the Bellator Bantamweight Championship for the first time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main event comes to an end. 3 minutes, 24 seconds into round number 4 by knockout. The winner and still Bellator Bantamweight World Champion, Sergio SP Pettis.
Let's go to Big John McCarthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the still bantamweight champion of Bellator MMA, Sergio Pettis. I gotta say, that was explosive, it was dramatic, and do you now feel like the real bantamweight champion?
I don't know if that doesn't signify it anymore, man. I came out here and had to get beat up for 4 rounds pretty much. You know, going into the last couple seconds that when that happened, I was just like, man, I'm losing this fight. I gotta do something spectacular, and it came out at the right time. I just want to give a thank you to all my coaches, Duke Rufus, Scott Cushman, first time cornering me ever in my whole fight career since 14 years old, Mark Swinsky, and of course, Ren Hiramoto. Thank you so much for all the love and support you gave me, brother. I respect you a lot.
They say there's a reason the championship fights have those 5 rounds, and you needed that 4th and possibly 5th round. What were you thinking coming into the 4th round? Your coach had talked to you about, I just need you to throw the jab. I need you to just put it out there to get him off rhythm. Do you think that just the pressure that you brought and those things that you were doing more active was the difference in you getting that opportunity to land that spinning back fist?
I needed to face some adversity, and tonight Horiguchi gave me all of that, man. I was hard trying to time his rhythm, try to get his movement down, but man, yeah, I just had to open up. My coaches always tell me if you open up, you're gonna be one of the best in the world, and that's what I'm pushing for, man. I'm only 28 years old, and this fight showed me that I have a lot more to work on, and I'm just back to the drawing boards, man. I'm lucky I'm not cut or hurt, and got me some good calf kicks, but I'm back in the gym next 2 weeks.
I just want to tell you that was an unbelievable finish. Congratulations on being the bantamweight champion here at Bellator. You're an outstanding representation of this division.
Hey, and I want to give a shout out to my mom. I told you I was going to dedicate this fight to you. Thank you for introducing me to martial arts and making me a great man. I'm nothing without you. I love you, Mom.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the bantamweight champion, Sergio S.P. Pettis.